is the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. Well, hello and welcome to Gimme a Oh Yeah. I hope everyone there, right there in Yorkshire, is having a nice day. Bang, bang! Have a nice day! Yeah!
Bang, bang! In the words of Mick Foley, we are just starting. I'm sorry I'm a tiny bit late. Hope you are all having a good day. I did say that I put this background on, and shimmer. Hello and welcome to the Gimme a Oh Yeah Wrestling Podcast. My name is Anne, and today we are watching, as always, AEW. And our first matches are just about to happen. It's only bloody Christian Cage. My dude Dan is having a few issues with his Skype, so we will get him on as soon as possible. Maybe refresh? Question mark? I'm sure he can hear me actually. He put an extra match on his stream, which was hella fun, man. Hella fun. A very quick Emi Sakura ring. I hope he can join the stream because I really want to ask him about that actually. Was she in another match that night, or did she just do that? Did she just do that one job for him, which is awesome? And she looked like she had a lot of fun anyway. Cool. Thank you all so much for joining me straight after we've done our Eve stream. Our Eve stream is great, and we get a lot of sort of insight into wrestling from Dan, and that carries on in this podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. Hello there. Hello. Dog, Soggity, Dog, Socko. Luian, way. Lovely to see you in the stream, Eve chat, my dude. Thank you so much for popping on, saying hello. Lovely to see you. Hey guys, what's up? This should be a really good match. Frankie Kazarian and Christian. Grant, Louis, Danny Hargreaves, hello my dude. Thank you for tweeting us out earlier. And thank you for my birthday present last week. Way, I'm the Universal Champion. Way, call me Brock Lesnar. How? Hello, 80 dub, says we. Going for a quick beer run before it begins. Anyone need one? Yeah, pass us one. IPA, please. What up, and Jeff, my dude, lovely to see you. Sorry about last week. I was having trouble getting the live stream working at my partner's house. So sorry. But I hope it was a good show. I hope you enjoyed it. The Britt Baker stuff really annoyed me that I saw. And they're going in fast here. Frankie Kazarian and Christian Cage straight in with a bloody lockup, and it looks like a bloody fight. First time I've invoked President FDR on Discord. Nice, man. Mimi, the curtains look so much better in person. Oh, you flirt. Great start. Great match to start. Absolutely. Hot start, man. Hot start. I think that arcade match is going to done that, and I've been known for doing a restart. Dan is going to join us as soon as he can. He's obviously just finished his Eve stream, which was outstanding tonight. Again, watching Sami Zayn wrestle. Brilliant. Happy belated cake day. Thanks, my dude. Janelle's joined us. Hey up, Janelle. Hope you're doing great, my dude. Yeah, Rosa said she'd like a steel cage with Serena Deeb, something to see at one of AEW pay-per-views. Mate, that would be amazing. And I so hope they let Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb do that. And after that Lights Out match, how could you not let Thunder Rosa do what she wants to do? She was outstanding. And so was Britt Baker. I mean, I've watched that match about 4 or 5 times now, and I love it. I think it's great. It's Matty D. Hello, Wrestling fans. Hello, Matty D. How you doing, my brother? Okay, be right back. Get the beers in, Grant. No worries, man. Thanks, Jeff. Sorry, dude. It was, but I had a great week, man. I was spoiled rotten. My girlfriend is amazing. We've only just got together, and she has been so good to me. Joey, Cincinnati boys are all back in the house. Oh yes, I'm not huge on drinking, but I love to learn with another teetotaled. I hope you're not talking about me. Oh, CM Punk, right? Watching both on my phone. Don't have a PC right now. Lol. Oh, gutted, Louis. Sorry, dude. That's rubbish. So you're watching AEW on your phone, right? As well. Jesus. I hope Kaz wins because he's on a good win streak, so it will be a shame to break it. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Louis. Thank you for coming and supporting us. It means a lot that you guys would pop down. It means a lot that you guys throw them likes on the videos. I hope you've noticed. Bloody 666 subscribers. That's right. The beast is here. The beast of Gimme a Oh Yeah is here. That's me. Not Dom. Oh, Christian looks knocked out from that, going out the ropes. Great selling. Fast start to this match, been really good. Well, I have the odd beer every few months, said Jackie Boy. Cool. I don't encourage anyone to do anything. Cool. I'm just going to work on getting Dan into this stream, my brothers and sisters. whilst watching this match, whilst doing everything else. That's what we do. Oh, going over into the ring, sending him back into the ring with a back body suplex. And press that. Ba-dum-bum-bum. A vape, AEW, Gimme, oh yeah, and candles lit. Louis, that sounds bloody romantic. Bloody romantic. I can see you, Dan, and can I hear you? Probably not. Yes, I can hear you. Wow. I have no idea, my dude. It sounds okay. It's hard to tell. No, it's okay. Rosa does say something. My dog, also Cactus. Rosa did say something about a contract on Unrestricted Podcast. Ooh. So I'm thinking she signed with NWA and AEW in some format. Interesting, Raymond. Interesting, my dude. Rock and roll, man. I am going to bring Dan onto the stream after I watch what other do on the top rope. Mate, Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian getting pushed off the first... Yes, and you're not live on stream yet, thank God, because Dan started swearing as soon as I told him what match was on right now. My dudes, I have my friend with me. Where are you? You're not on that. I've got to set you up as an NDI source. This is rubbish. Dan. That's all right. Oh, man, I can hear banging happening. I can't. I want to get Dan on. I want Dan's point of view. Christian Cage going for the shoulder to the midsection there. And Dan's with us. Say hello, Dan.
I?
You are.
Am I, though?
You
Am
are.
I?
You are.
I don't
You
know.
on stream. Oh, it says Dom Smith under your name.
I'm not Dom.
Give us your best Dom impression.
I can't do a Dom impression. What kind of freaking thing is that to say? Give me your best Dom impression.
Rock and roll, Dan's here. Woohoo! We've got you
Hello,
background.
I am Dan. I am here. He tells no lies.
He tells no lies.
And right now I am trying to balance out all my audio so that I can hear you and also see what's going on.
Oh wow, it's the mother effing legend Dan, says Danny Hargreaves. So for those of you that don't know Dan, he runs a wonderful wrestling promotion called Pro Wrestling Eve. We do live streams of them on the channel. They put loads of free content on the channel, some of the best wrestling you can watch every week. Go join him. And then he quite often comes and hangs out with me on these AEW streams.
I do. And I'm looking forward to tonight's one.
Yeah, man. Yeah. There's a surprise entrance.
Yeah, no, there's a surprise. There's some good stuff happening tonight.
Is it not much of it? Wow. 1, 2. This is a fast match, man. This is the match where they're saying, "Oh, Christian can still wrestle." Remember, guys?
Which, of course, he could. He was. Listen, I have said it before, and I'll say it again. I was always a Christian fan over Edge. That doesn't mean that I don't like Edge. I like them both.
Mm-hmm.
But I was Christian all the way. And I think that his treatment consistently in WWE, the booking, did not match his talent. No. Did not match his ability to get over. No. In fact, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Bret Hart. And if Bret Hart came around at the same time that Christian did, Bret would have been booked the same way as Christian.
Mm-hmm. You encouraged me to have a beer by giving me one. Welcome. Well, good, Danny. Hope you're enjoying a good night out, having a beer. Dan's got his water, which is actually vodka. Jeff Adams, like how they're starting out with Christian looking rusty. Yes, a really nice touch. I didn't expect this to be as competitive as it is, but it makes complete sense, Dan. Make it look like he's been out of the ring for a while, but still good, and his selling's incredible.
I don't know if, just to say to Jack, I don't know if she likes James Bond, but she certainly likes James Bond soundtracks.
Who's this?
Jetta.
Jetta, there you go. I'm clever talking about FDR and JFK on Discord. Good for you, Jackie. Well done for being clever. It's Dan. Hi again. Dan says Louis. Biden's momentum. It's Fastlane. I'm excited, Jake. Don't be that excited. It was Fastlane. Remember the Toxic Avenger? Fastlane. Mr. Eve, aka Dan. Hi. Everyone says hi to you. That's lovely.
That's nice. Hello, everyone.
At the lovely. That's religious to have Dom's name up there. It is, yeah. It's sacrilegious, is what it is. Wait, Dan is my favourite. He's my favourite too, Jack. Oh, massive DDT there from the second rope.
What are you on, by the way, so I know roughly where you are, where I am?
Oh, let me press this live button. There we go. There.
Oh, were you not live?
No, for some whatever reason, I press it and then it's live now. I am on them both getting up.
Yep, we're at the same place.
And Christian just touched his head.
Yep, we're at the same place.
Cool. Punches out of Frankie Kazarian's face.
I gotta be honest, I think Christian physically looks better than Edge.
Yeah.
I feel terrible actually making that comparison, but I feel like it's the comparison everyone's gonna make.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's hard because Edge hasn't really done a lot because of the injury, you know.
Yeah. Because Edge had arguably the bigger body impact and injury of the pair of them, of course.
Mm-hmm. Can you all let me know, is Dan's audio okay?
Is my audio all right?
Just let us know. It's hard to do all this at the same time. All you have to do is impersonate Dom and say, "I come to to the Fiend's entrance music." Duncan Briggs says, "Hello, Duncan. Hope you're having a great day, dude."
Hey, Duncan. Good to see you, buddy.
I don't know if you subscribe to the channel, Duncan, but we're currently on 666 subscribers. If you'd like to be the neighbour of the beast, take it.
Great point.
Cheers, Jack. Dan implied Jetta likes James Bond, ergo she's perfect. Yes. Welcome, Danny. What did I do? Said I'm your favourite. Oh, I love you, Danny. Oh, shucks, I love you too, Jack. Good enough for me. Jetta's a slice of awesome. Yes, she is. I loved watching Thingy wrestle tonight. Who did we watch
Sammy?
twice? Sammy Jane. Yeah, man.
She's so good. She's literally messaging me right now.
Is she really?
Oh, God, she's picking apart her match.
Oh, really? Bless her.
Oh, God.
Oh, mate, but it was so good, both of them.
I know.
Both of them.
I know. That is her. She's a perfectionist. Like, so she's literally messaging me right now going, "Oh, I hated seeing this. I'm so better than that now. I'm like I would never do that thing. Oh, but like, even then, I've got to be better." Do you know what I mean? Like, she's really... And when I say, like, I'm so better than now, it's not her bigging herself up. It's just her cringing at what she was like. But she's still like, you know, I've got to be better. I've got to be better.
Kaz has been on fire for a while with his performance. He's so good in what I want him to get a title shot at some point. He's done great in this match. Been wonderful. It's a little loud. Turn it down a bit. Yeah, no worries. Oh, he goes for the big frog splash, but Kazarian gets well out of the way. There we go. I've turned Dan down. Let us know if that is better. Thank you.
Was I too loud? Really?
You was, apparently, yeah. It's all right. I've turned you down on my end.
Massively turned my gain down as well. So
Did you? Got him in the sleeper hold now. Going down.
No, it's the chicken wing.
Chicken wing. Oh, nice kicking into Edge.
Beautiful detail there.
It is, man. I love stuff like that. Make it look like a fight, Dan.
Well, that's a prime example of what I thought that was so good about Sammy. It's the details in the things that Sammy does.
Makes it look like a fight, yeah.
Just little things like if she's getting the shoulder up, you know, depending of course of when the match is, then, you know, she's trying to, you know, make sure that her back's not on the ground. She's reaching for those ropes. There's little details in everything that she does.
Certainly is, Dan. Certainly is. Christian gets his foot to the rope there.
Duncan, we have AEW Dynamite on right now, and we are watching Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian.
I think Edge has grey hairs, which make him look older. Yeah, me and Dan are the same age. You won't believe it because of Dan's grey hairs. We are the Edge and Christian of the Gimme a Holy Wrestling podcast, Dan.
Okay.
Didn't know what to say to it.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm pretty sure our financials are very different.
They are at the minute. These two had great matches in TNA. There we go. So put two people who can work together.
Let's not forget, you know, that this is the year for doing TNA and doing it big. I mean, the main event of night one of WrestleMania, Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. That was a rematch for TNA Slammiversary and various episodes of Impact.
Yeah, was that 2016, was it?
2016. They also fought in 15 as well.
There you go. WWE with its original booking.
I'm not going to hold that against it.
No, it works.
If you're going to get people in and bring them in, rematches are...
That was a beautiful leg drop, man.
Oh, Kazarian's so good. He is one of wrestling's, maybe most ever underutilized performers by a major company. Like, he's just one of those people that just didn't get the run that he deserved at the right time. Like, the timing just never worked out for him.
No.
I was always surprised because he's a handsome guy. He can work. It's like,
his body's great.
Is it that people were looking for that they weren't getting with him to really run with him, give him an opportunity? Because Ring of Honor never really ran with him neither.
Right.
So it's like, so what were people looking for?
Yeah.
What did Frankie Kazarian miss?
I don't know, man. It's an interesting one. Oh, headbutt there to Christian. Again, Dan, fighting. Two wrestlers fighting. It's like what we've just seen on Eve. Wrestlers fighting.
Yep. To feed Zeke's cheeks, we don't know if he actually is gassed or if that's simply the story, because a lot of the story is based on this being Christian's first match.
Yeah. A kick out. Wow. Lovely match. It's a little loud. I did turn it down. Agreed, Dan. Christian does look better than Edge. I thought it was me just thinking that. Audio good, Dan, and oh, it's a little loud. I don't know. I'll split the difference, eh? I'll turn my dude Dan up a tiny bit. There we go.
The flux capacitor from Kazarian not doing it. Kill switch attempt now by Christian. He's not gonna hit it now. It'll be reversed. No. But nonetheless, it's a hell of a finishing stretch that we're on right now.
And they're trying to really get that as a strong finishing move, it seems already. In the selling of
Christian does it. Christian does the best kill switch since Tommy Rogers himself, the originator of the kill switch.
Really?
Originally called the Tomikaze. Oh, frog splasher.
There's a frog splash kick out. Oh, nice
that was
kick
so
out
good.
There. So good.
I mean, that is a move that Christian was using as a finish in TNA. He did do the kill switch, but he also won matches with the frog splash.
Right. But we need to see them both in this match, I think, Dan.
Well, this is the thing, there's part of the story. If you're telling the story that there's ring rust, you're also, putting in the fact that are you able to hit everything the way you did?
The way you used to, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And also, Kazarian is a hell of a talent. His match with Hangman Page several months ago was outstanding.
Absolutely. Gets him into the
roll through.
No, rolls through. Beautiful.
Shortly.
Oh, into the turnbuckle. Christian rolling into position. Really nicely rolling into position. Beautiful move. Beautiful sell.
Hate to say I call 1, 2. Great move. Great match.
Bang. Welcome to AEW Dynamite, Dan.
That was a tremendous match. What I saw, I didn't even see the whole thing. Christian looks good. Told a great story. Kazarian's outstanding. And again, I wonder, what will it take for, Kazarian to get a run? And is it too late? I don't know. Could somebody in the chat maybe have a quick wiki of Kazarian's age for us? And I realize the fact that, Christian is, I think, 47, 48, something along those lines. But, so they're not going to want to constantly push. At the same time, Kazarian still has a run in him.
Mm-hmm.
And so for those of you that aren't watching AEW but have joined us, we are now on a Darby Sting promo.
We certainly are. Is he fighting Matt Hardy?
Yeah, that's what they're building on. And it's interesting. They're going for a bit of a Joe Hendry with the mask wearing.
Who we do have an interview with on the channel, so do go check that out.
There you go.
There you go. Look at you, Dan. Boom. I mean,
Raymond Kennan, Dan, what do you think about two guys on the same roster basically having the same finishing move? Lance Archer and Eddie, what's his name, that just came on the roster from ROH on Impact? Eddie, who's just come from the roster named Eddie? Oh, do you mean that Ethan
Page.
Ethan Page? Is that who you mean? Rather than Eddie? Or is there somebody called Eddie that's just started?
I didn't realize they had the. That's going to be the main event, isn't it?
I would imagine so. Well, it'll either be that or
that.
it'll be this, the trios match. Either way, it's a loaded lineup tonight.
The Radio Kid?
Cezar Bononi, who's had a hell of a week. Now, tonight's episode was actually taped last week. Hence why I said what I said about tonight's episode.
What do you mean? What did you say? What have I missed here?
That there will be a friend of mine making an appearance.
Excellent. Well, I know nothing about that, so I'm going to bash through some comments. Oh, I feel better now. I've recovered watching Eve. Ergo, Eve needs to be prescribed on the NHS. Absolutely, to every country.
Thank
you. I tell you what, I want to hear from you all in chat. One wrestler you can go for a drink with. Write it down in chat. Let's go. 666 says Joey. Say again, dude.
Great idea.
Thanks,
you want to go for a drink with.
We was talking about it on Eve because I was talking about Thunder Rosa. Kazarian is really good as well. Very underrated. Jake, guess what? Oh, the third best Captain Kirk is in the Hall of Fame 2021. Third best. Is that true, Dan?
I'm only a Next Generation fan.
Okay, there we go. I
didn't get on with the rest of them.
He didn't get on, and I've not seen any.
I did try. I really like Scott Bakula as an actor because I love Quantum Leap. So I really wanted to get into the Star Trek that he was on, but I found it too slow.
Okay, cool. I've got to stroke this sexy. Give me a whole yeah curtains. Yes, you did. Should I get pizza or calzone? I can't decide. Cincinnati, calzone or pizza?
Well, surely you get the pizza, and if you change your mind by the time you got it, just fold it in half. Boom.
Banging. There you go. You got your solution, Joey. You got your solution. Thank you to Dan. What match are you watching? We was watching Kazarian and Christian. Christian is gassed bad ring rust. Yeah, that was the story, my dude, I think. He looked great. He was selling like hell, man. Danny, you are one lucky so-so. When did you do it? I'm absolutely jealous right now. Danny 12. Jake, can't say, but I stroked the hell out of them curtains. Can't find it. Kaz deserves so much more in his career. Kaz deserved a lot in his car. Here in my car. Like Braun. OMG. He's doing a hell of a job with the story then. I get he's selling really good if so. Yes. And that's why you could tell that it was a story, because his selling was on point. Someone with ring rust doesn't sell that well. Would you agree, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to take into account is, Christian would have been going through things, constantly at someone's school. I don't know whether it would have been at Lance's or, because Christian actually lives in Florida, I believe, not in Canada, but so he probably wouldn't have been Lance's. Normally it would have been Lance's. But wherever it is, Christian would have been, possibly even got his own ring. But Christian would have been working out and going through things, so this wouldn't have been the first time he's actually completed a match.
No.
It would have just been the first time we would have seen a match.
Or in a crowd as well, yeah. I think it's a story. He's been selling the rust and exhaustion from the beginning, absolutely. And AEW are good at telling ring stories. Part of the reason we like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you actually allow the talent, when you work with the talent instead of dictating the talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you watch what you're watching? We watch it on Fight TV, so it is the app. You can find it online. We pay in the UK £5 a month. Is it, Dan?
Sorry, what? Who? What? Sorry, I was
TV?
reading Sammy's message.
That's all right, mate.
What was it?
Fight TV. How much do we pay? Is it £5? It's a subscription service. You can find out costs online, but it means we can watch it in the UK at this time as opposed to watching it on ITV on Friday when it's less relevant to do these live streams.
Yeah.
Kill Switch, it will always be the unprettier in my eyes. Very
yeah,
good.
Right.
This is main event material. Absolutely, Louis. Absolutely. TNA Frog Splash, Kill Switch, This Fire Burn. Sorry, go on, Dan.
No, I was just going to say, actually, when we were talking about the Kill Switch, I'm pretty. I said that Christian does the best version since Tommy Rogers.
Yeah.
Someone else who does a very, very good version is actually Aaron Angel.
There you go.
Which I'll partly take credit for. But but she does. And I'll be honest with you, the reason why is because I was saying we need to base it on Christian's version, not on anyone else's. A lot of people, when they would do the Kill Switch, because it is actually a very dangerous move, because you're trapping the arms and then dropping down, and there's like hardly anywhere for the head to go, and the arms are trapped, meaning it's difficult for protecting yourself on that bump. So it's actually a very dangerous move to do. So what a number of people would do to make the move safer is they would jump with it, and whilst they were in the air, they'd basically unhook the arms slightly so that the person would basically just be jumping and taking their own bump.
Okay.
But that's not how Christian does it. That's not how Tommy Rogers would do it. That's not how Aaron Angel does it.
There you go.
And I believe, and that's part of the reason why it looks so good, because it's literally arms trapped, weight down, and it's legitimately a very dangerous move. And I think if any move should be protected up there with the pedigree, it is the Kill Switch.
Wow. Arn Anderson is the referee in this match. I didn't realize that. This is just what are they calling this? A spar or something, or
an exhibition contest.
Exhibition contest. Interesting. Awesome.
Now I don't know what the situation is with an exhibition contest. Because here's the thing. Cody had a hell of a match with his brother, which was a double juicer. So he's prepared to have a hell of a double juicer with his brother.
Yeah.
But they're only going to have an exhibition match, these two themselves. Now maybe I won't watch an AEW back then, so it's not fair for me to do too much of a comparison.
What you want about the match with Dustin?
Yeah,
mate, it was the best match of that year. It was outstanding.
But the story behind is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Like the story behind it, it's just like he was prepared to fight his own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
But with QT, it's exhibition only.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't really watching it back then, so I don't know if there's part of the story that I was missing.
It's before Dynamite happened, Dan. So that was on All In.
Okay, so it's more. Right. So that's not. Is that therefore not canon?
I think it's canon, but it wasn't told as part of the story. The story that they told for All In and the first two pay-per-views was all online sort of stuff as opposed to weekly TV.
Understood.
So, and actually that strength of that match was it was such an easy story to tell. The young kid putting the old dog down,
Yeah. Crisscross. Jump. It's one for our older viewers.
There you go. Jump. You're right. Great storytelling. See, Christian looks better than Edge, lol. Dan, let's not forget though, Edge had that wonderful match that was slightly edited, but the greatest wrestling match ever. That was a cracking match.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They did do that all in one take. It's just that what they then did was they went back and reshot bits because it was actually one of the reshoots where Edge got hurt.
It was, that's right.
So, so fair play to them. It's not like everyone could say, they took, breaks in between. They didn't.
No.
They deserve all the credit for doing 45 minutes straight.
Weird match this, Dan.
Yeah, deliberately weird. Arn can't really move particularly well, so it's interesting that he's the special guest ref.
Kazarian is 43, says Danny. There you go. You guys
okay, so if they're going to give him a run, and I would say he'd be a great person to put that TV title on, because if there's a singles wrestler in AEW that I want to see have 15-minute, 20-minute matches every single week on Dynamite, it's Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah.
And with anyone. It's not like you can say to yourself, like, well, Frankie Kazarian wouldn't have a good match with this person. Yeah, he would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Cody losing his balance there, but selling it, Going with that flow. Saying yes, Dan. saying, yes, I fall over, I got my thing, I'm going to acknowledge it as part of the story. Good.
Yeah, absolutely. Go with it. Don't fight it. Everyone saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Light Spike said, Jack, yeah, if you could like the video, it really helps us out. Probably should have said that when there was more people in here. Where do I find what you're watching? It's on Fight TV, Duncan. Fight TV is where it is at. Yes, Ethan. Ethan Page, Dan, TNT. My bad, I was thinking Eddie, but Ethan is him. Duncan, you can watch it via Fight TV via subscription. Thank you. Mick Foley. He would have some amazing stories to tell. Oh, Mick Foley. Going for a drink with Mick Foley. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. Mick Foley would be good.
I can tell you that is good to do.
There you go. Dan's been for a drink with Mick Foley.
Yeah,
my answer during the stream was, like I say, Thunder Rosa. I'd love to talk to her about the.
And I'll tell you, let me tell you now, she'd outdrink you.
Would she?
Thunder Rosa. Oh God, my God. Thunder Rosa can drink.
I bet she can.
Like,
I just want to chat with her. I just want to find out about the work she does outside of the ring.
She's great. She's absolutely great.
Yeah. Hopefully, Bononi avoids a botch like he did against Luchasaurus. That was painful. Fingers crossed.
Was that? What was that?
But Bonai.
Cezar Bononi. Cezar Bononi.
Is that what happened? Is that something that happened on Dark?
I didn't see it, so someone will.
It.
He's had a hell of a week with family members. I think it was his wife needing a transplant. I think it was I think it's like I can't remember if it's bone marrow or what, but it's a severe situation. And he literally was tweeting for help for people to try and help him because the help wasn't coming through. Like they had a match, which was his wife's sister, but she needed to come in from Mexico. And it was just all sorts of drama. Thankfully, AEW legal team got involved and they managed to make it happen. But she literally, if she wouldn't have got it done by, I think it was this Friday, it was like she weren't going to make it.
Wow.
And they were saying that they couldn't do it until the 5th of April.
Jesus, man.
That they couldn't process all the necessary paperwork for her to get into the country or something along those lines. It was real, like, legit. So kudos to... AEW's legal team for, literally making the government do things, to and saving a life and a family.
They're very good at that, Dan. They seem like they're not only the wrestlers aren't just a product. We've seen that with Brody Lee and his sort of. The way they took care of his family after that, and the wonderful show that they put on for us, as well as sort of celebrating not just the performer Brody Lee, but him and his family, and really, and whether you like AEW or not, you cannot argue that they've done an outstanding job at that.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, a drink with Ric Flair. Woo! Stone Cold Steve Austin, my deal, have a drink with. What? What?
You don't want to drink with Ric Flair.
What? Ric Flair wouldn't understand me. He didn't understand Dom when he spoke to him,
It's drinking with Ric Flair. I've heard some, I've heard the non-public stories.
Right.
You don't want to do that.
There you go. Scott is
especially if in case of there was one, I think it happened in TNA, where he basically ordered drinks for like everyone. Was that like he was going to pay for it, and then he
disappeared?
It was like a rib. Yeah.
Crossbody there from QT Matter. That's quite funny, Dan.
So someone else got left with that, and it was like it was thousands upon thousands.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Scott is in Enterprise. Pace changes dramatically once season 3 starts. Gotta go calzone all the way, says Jeff. Feed seats, cheeks. Yeah, Ric Flair would be another good one, and I'd love to have a drink with Trish Stratus. Interesting. Oh, I didn't say. And Braun is a train now. Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
Jake says Sandman. Get drunk with him. What happened? QT hit Arn. No.
And Arn has to bump.
I'll put the TV championship on Arn. Again. Sandman, get drunk with him, said Jake. Well, you've heard Dan's Sandman and Sandman stories. That's probably why Jake's saying Sandman.
It would be an experience.
Nick Camarado.
And Anthony, and then my boy Anthony. My boy Anthony Agogo.
Anthony Agogo.
Yeah.
Dan.
Resgal product. Resgal trainee.
Oh, Dan, this is great, man. This is QT Marshall's training school, isn't it? This is his faction.
Yeah, Anthony lives over in the States now, and I say he's back and forth when possible. You know, he was last over here, Christmas time, down at the Resgal training, back here for Christmas and New Year's, and then went back over start of January.
Oh!
How big? That's not a bump I'd take. Go on, Anthony. Anthony QT and Lee Camarata. That's a good trio right there.
Lee
now,
Johnson?
Anthony is a legitimate, Olympic medal winning boxer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Anthony's legit. He's 6'2", about 250 pounds, legit. And he's a hard worker as well. When he'd be down at the Resgal, he's one of those guys that didn't just work hard when it came to actually, physically. He had one of those people that would ask questions. Oh, Dustin's wearing white. Is he bladed?
Yeah, he's bladed. So, one of the trainees of the Resgal. So, for those of you that don't know, that's where Dan puts on his shows. What was your experience with Anthony then, Dan?
Oh, he's a good lad. As I was saying,
it's
just like he was literally one of the people. Oh. Nice. He's literally one of the people as well that like he would still be, asking me. He's still one of those guys that just like asks for advice. Do you know what I mean? He's not one of these. He's not someone that's like come in and it's like, oh, I'm an Olympian, therefore I'm above this. He's not that at all.
Right.
He's a good lad.
Nice.
Yeah, no, and you see, it's like, like he is a legitimate, like I say, a legitimate boxer, legitimate Olympian, legitimate champion boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He is the real deal. I mean, he's still young in his wrestling career. So, don't be expecting Frankie Kazarian versus Christian from him yet. But if you want someone to look like a badass,
Oh, it's Red Velvet.
You want someone a bit, that to look like a badass that is a legitimate tough guy. Mm-hmm. You've got it with Anthony.
Blood everywhere. The crowd clapping Red Velvet there. Dan, it's the way that they take this sort of QT's real life thing of being a because he runs his own training school, doesn't he? And you have these sort of newcomers come in this faction. A lot of the attack on that was focused on Anthony Johnson, so he looked great in it.
Lee Johnson,
sorry. Great.
And the thing is, as well, is it makes a whole bunch of new people. You got Anthony in that now. You got Nick Camarado, who I think is awesome. I think he's got tons of potential.
He's done a lot, man. He's done a lot.
Yeah. So no, like I can only talk for. Obviously, I haven't seen Anthony training down, in Florida under QT's place. He's not the only one. Shout out to Darian Bengston as well, another Resgal original who's now down there also, who I'm sure we'll be seeing on AEW in the future. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just a great attitude, great talent. I really hope he does well. He deserves it. He deserves it. He works hard. Because here's the thing, right? Anthony could make a shed load of money doing something else. Mm. Like, legit. Like, Anthony could make a shed load of money doing something else. And I always admire people that are like taking that harder road to do the thing they have a passion for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I don't hold anything against anyone, you know, taking a road to, you know, get that money in.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing against anyone doing that. But Anthony could be earning a lot more money, you know, doing other things. But he's got that passion. He wasn't afraid to go back to the very bottom and start in a career in an industry that he didn't know anything about. I mean, obviously, as a wrestling fan, he knew about it, but that doesn't mean you actually know it. It just means you probably think you do.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but Anthony didn't take that attitude in. Hard worker, would constantly be what we call privates. So, which is when it would be you'd be paying extra to have be a part of a group. So whether or it'd be one-on-one. So often he'd be training one-on-one with Greg Burridge, or he'd be part of a group of individuals. There'd be him, Costa K, who, if you've watched any XWA things, you would have seen. Darian Bankston would be in on that. There's Nina Samuels was involved in that group of people that would be training as, you know, a small group, but getting like plenty of ring time together, you know?
Yeah.
So
Really interesting, Dan. It's interesting getting your insight and seeing because I wouldn't have known about him at all. So great to hear a little bit about him and his history, and hopefully, I think it's just a really great way of doing. That's the depth that we have with AEW, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, are they going to be fighting the Inner Circle next week? Who knows? But they're not afraid to give time to the right things. I don't know if I enjoyed the match, but I suppose they set that up for the heel turn. But I don't know if it was necessary.
Well, I mean, it's they're wanting to create, you know, a bunch of names that aren't necessarily, you know, former WWE individuals as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Ethan Page, is it?
Yeah.
Are they in a tag team now?
I mean, I didn't know that. But I really don't think he should be called Ethan Page. Why can't he? You know, if I was them, I'd have changed his name to Ethan Ego. You know, and get their ego. You know, his name is all Ego, Ethan Page.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to get it across, you know, but you've got Hangman Page.
Ethan
You know, like
Ego
I'm not a
works.
big fan of having Christian Cage and Brian Cage.
Yeah, no, I agree. Fight TV is $5.99 a month. Yes, it is. So, what do they have on during non-match commercial breaks on Fight? So non-match commercial breaks. What do you mean? When they don't show? Normally, they just have an AEW logo with fireworks going on in the background. Sometimes they just carry on anyway. So it's hard to tell what the difference is because obviously we're only watching one thing. And Danny answered him straight after. What's Red Velvet saying? To Dasher, I'd like to see her in the ring more as well. Oh. Interesting that they've had Red Velvet save Cody, but then attacked by Jade. I like the fact they've not put Jade in QT's faction because that would have been the easy option with that.
It would have been. It would have been. I'm glad they haven't done that as well. I mean, because it's not needed. She doesn't need to be a part of something. She's special in herself.
Yeah. Jon Moxley is in a foul mood.
He's such a good actor.
Yes. I hate him as champion though, Dan.
Do you really?
Yeah, I get so bored of him as champion. I feel he's such a better chaser. Such a better chaser.
Thing is, you can't be a chaser forever. Otherwise, you know you'll be getting under, not over.
100%, but I don't think I don't even think he needed the championship. Full stop.
See, I'm not a believer. I understand people have that mentality, but I'm not a believer of it because
Right.
I think I think there's two different types of stories that you can tell. There's, you know, the idea that, you know, you look at who the champions of a promotion are, and you look at their history, and you look at, you know, what their roster was, and you look at all the people that didn't hold the title that came close. That is a story. You know, that has emphasis on the on how good the champions were. You know, like I think about New Japan and I think about someone like Tomohiro Ishii, who one could argue definitely from a work rate perspective, you know, had every right to be IWGP champion. But he never has and never will be.
Right.
But that in many ways then just goes to show, you know, how good and places an emphasis on the story wise of how good someone like Kazuchika Okada is and Hiroshi Tanahashi. You know, Jay White, Kota Ibushi. You know, but there's also the lie that if someone's forever chasing, and then you know you missed the moment where you can take them from this point to this point and being over and being recognized, because you always want them to, you know, and also at the level of AEW, from an AEW perspective, you need to do it. I definitely felt that he deserved a better run as WWE champion. That company.
Yeah. They tend to drop the ball with the champions quite a lot. But I think with AEW, I just don't think he needed it at that point. He wasn't in for long before having it. And actually, I think Jericho could have dropped it to someone like Page or something, or Omega. And
there's a longer story there, though. There's a longer story. That's not.
Well, yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just want to see the new guys getting over. But you're right, and it has been done perfectly. Like without that sort of Kenny.
Because here's the thing: what you don't want to do is run the risk of like over pushing the young guys, so that you then cause the crowd to turn on them.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, you like, if there's one thing we learned from Rocky Maivia, you know, it's just that, you know, pushing those white meat baby faces, which in many ways he still would have been, not just Rocky Maivia, but Randy Orton. You know, like so many guys at WWE, John Cena, just you know, people that they just weren't going to change no matter what. Now, John Cena was able to make it work. You know, Roman Reigns, with all due respect, who I think is a tremendous worker, was not able to make it work anywhere near the level that John Cena was.
No, I can agree with that. Cena's so good, though. Actually,
Cena's phenomenal.
So good.
I do not understand the Cena hate. I understand when same as I don't understand the. It's two things. I don't understand when people put their heat from the booking onto the performance.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, putting the heat of a bad movie on the good actors. Because I know a bad film is a bad film. Look, I'm a huge Predator mark. I'm a massive Predator mark. And there are some good actors in The Predator, the most recent movie. But no one was saving that film. Like, no one was saving that film.
Was that the Rodriguez one as well?
Sorry?
Was that the Rodriguez one? Rodriguez, the director.
No, he's not the director, I don't think.
He directed one of them.
That was Predators.
Oh, Predators.
Rob Rodriguez, is that who you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he directed Predators, which is a fine film. It's not like as good as Predator, the original with Arnie, but it's a fine film. And it made money too, which is more than the Predator could say.
There you go. That's the important thing. I missed a match, so I won't bother tonight. Cool, Duncan. Sorry, mate. It's hard to say. If you join our Discord, someone might be able to help you out on there. Do you all think Jade and Velvet Feud should go long into the summer and then come to head at a pay-per-view later this year? If the story's there, sure. If not, it's fine to not put it on pay-per-view. AEW have big shows anyway. They have big matches on shows anyway. And because they promote the matches. So, because we know what's happening 2 weeks in the future in AEW a lot of the time, you can promote that match without it needing to go to pay-per-view. Does that make sense, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. So I really enjoy, like, Moxley's doing a great job trying to, you know, get Cezar Bononi over.
Yeah.
You know, doing a great job here, which is good because here's the thing. Moxley's going to go over and Moxley's going to end up, you know, over regardless. So this is an opportunity where, you know, you give something to the younger guy and get them just being thought of as a bit more credible. So next time you see them in a match against maybe another mid-carder or even if a lower mid-carder, you don't know who's going over. Up until this match, however, if you'd have seen Cezar Bononi and any number of people Let's say Chuck Taylor, for example.
Yeah.
You'd probably be thinking, well, Chuck Taylor's going over. This is just a match for Chuck Taylor to get the win. But now we're seeing Cezar Bononi having this match with Jon Moxley. Mm-hmm. If we was to ever see that in the next couple of episodes of Dynamite, you couldn't say 100% certain that Chuck Taylor's going over. Because we've been told that Cezar Bononi is an incredible talent who's able to, give Jon Moxley a run for his money.
And not just that, dude. He looks great as well. So
he does look tremendous.
I do have slight issues with matches like this at times, but I have no issue with this match. It sort of depends on the competitor and how they work. I think. Like I didn't like it when Peter Avalon, and that was partly because we was told Peter Avalon was a bit of a joke for a long time. Had such a competitive match against Cody. I really didn't like that. Cool. No matter what else happens in this match, I hope Austin Gunn catches a boot to the face. Second only to Marvis for the punt on the punchable scale, says Jeff. You missed so much, Dan. And it was All Out 2019. Cody faced Nick Aldis for the NW title at All In. Thank you very much, Danny. But I don't believe when All Out was on, Dynamite was on. I don't believe. I think Frankie's comfortable making other guys look good and doesn't need to be the center of attention. Thunder drank you under the table, Dan?
No, I wasn't drinking, but I've seen her drink.
There we go.
So I know she can.
Will the showing on ITV be the full thing, heavily edited? I don't know, mate. I've not watched it on ITV, so I don't know, I'm afraid. I assume it'd be edited.
Yeah, I think it's edited to a shorter form.
Right. Duncan, if you're still there, mate, if you go and look in the description, there's our Discord, and someone will help you there to find you a link that you can watch. That we can't sort of say on the stream. ManBoss52 Gaming, hello, my dude. I don't know if you're still there, but thank you so much for joining us briefly. Man, I am so far behind in chat. I saw the match. Good lad. Oh, wow. Duncan, it will be on ITV with a little editing for time constraints. Joey says, I'd have a left-handed sig with RVD. Yeah, probably. I don't think you'd have a choice. I have a different time zone, so when AEW comes on, it's 5 p.m. for me. Oh, dude. Well, it starts at 1 a.m. for us, man boss. If there's one thing billionaires know how to do, it's pull strings on the government. Yes. I heard that Flair story lately. True. Uh-oh. Faction alert. If anyone has Disney Plus, there's a great documentary on Ric Flair. It's well worth a watch. Anthony is good. Question, when is QT leaving the family looking like now? I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, he's clearly He has left the family now.
There we go. Who are you talking about? I think Anthony was the person we was talking about. Dan was talking about at that point, I believe. I feel like the bottom of the steps need to be pushed back more when doing moves like that one. It does get scary, doesn't it, Dan? Oh, check out the sleeper. I enjoy this QT Marshall crew. Makes complete sense. Looks like QT has officially left the family. Certainly does.
Well, and also, there's actually two rival schools there because you've got QT school and you've got Dustin Rhodes school.
Right.
So I would assume that's the direction that they're going.
Nice.
This is one school against somebody else's school.
Dan, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I kind of wish Dustin didn't Blade.
Yeah, I can't. I see what you're saying. I don't really have any. The thing is, sadly, not enough was made of it. It seems for it to feel. And the other thing is when it's the same person that's gigging over and over again, it takes away from the actual impact of them gigging.
It does.
What you're seeing.
Yeah. Cody's side piece helping him out of a jam indeed. Red Velvet taking over Brody. Better than Mark Henry. Great segment. Storytelling. He came in 7th out of 4 in 1996. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Nick is from my city. Awesome. Anthony has been appearing often on the commentary on AEW Dark with Taz. Have you seen any of that, Dan?
I haven't been watching. I mean, I haven't watched Dark for a long while.
No.
Yeah, I've just been so I am. Is anyone that's also watching Eve at the moment? You know, like I'm so busy right now, it's unreal. So what I've been watching has just been extremely limited.
And you end up watching YouTubers because you're working on something else as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for the biography on Anthony Ogogo. Yeah, no, that's why we've got Dan on the stream, man. Well,
Oh wait, Anthony being on Dark, that he was on there like at the end of last year, because I remember talking to him about him doing commentary when I met up with him at Christmas.
Oh, did you
just
really?
Before. Yeah.
Advice wise?
I gave him some advice on doing the commentary, yeah, because he was still new to it. He's still learning the business, and I just said to him that I felt that he was doing the right thing in trying to more focus on telling the sporting side of it, telling the sporting stats and keeping it down that route, because he's got a legitimate sporting background. So, of course, it would make sense that the
100%.
legitimate sporting background, the Olympian, would, look at wrestling from a legitimate sporting aspect.
Right, yeah.
So,
no,
and that's a good cover.
The Inner Circle hanging out in the toilets, Dan?
So this is the first time that we get these guys coming to blows. Interesting.
Oh, nicely shot, Dan. Chaotic. Can't tell what's going on. Don't mind it.
Yeah, different.
Spilling out into the hallway. It feels really well shot, actually.
Oh, this is.
Oh,
that was nice. And I'd like to see Sammy Guevara versus Sean Spears. These guys would have a great match.
Yeah, probably. Oh, slamming the door into his head.
See, one thing I don't like is when there's cameras all over the place. Like, because it just feels a bit too set up.
Cinematic. That was my issue with the Sting match with Darby Allin. I just thought it was a little bit too... Oh, put him through the massage table.
That's nice. See, that makes sense.
And it's not something we've seen before, Dan.
No, and it makes sense that is there blood on Santana Ortiz's white shirt, or is that a design?
I don't know. Oh, an ice bath.
This is some good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's the blood.
It's Dax. Ah.
There's blood. Dax is bleeding.
Jericho and MJF going at it.
Makes me wonder if that was, a thing that happened or if it was planned, because it means that we've had, only one segment between two segments involving blood.
Dan, this isn't a thing of after the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, is it?
What do you mean, sorry?
Well, the network's okay with us using blood. Let's go.
No, I wouldn't say it's that. I wouldn't think it's that. I mean, they had already known. Oh, because I do wonder if Dax's blood is, but then again, Santana Ortiz, whichever member that was wearing white.
Yeah.
And that's a thing you do when you're gonna, you're gonna get color.
Yeah.
Now he's not bleeding and he's been put through glass.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. It's possible it was planned. It's possible it was just an accident.
What did I miss? Quite a lot, Grant. But I hope you got a beer. Thank you for my beer. Inner Circles take down the Pinnacle's dressing room. Nice. Hulk Hogan versus Flair, Grant. There we go. That's what you missed. Oh, yeah, right, Jack. Ethan Ego sounds a little awkward, in my opinion, says Jeff. Yeah.
I'm not saying it sounds necessarily the best, but it's better than Ethan Page when you've got Hangman Adam Page on there as well.
And Christian.
And if you really want to get, the ego
Cage
thing and keep it attached to it, it's an option. So now we've got a promo with the Young Bucks, and they're being asked about what's going on between them and Kenny Omega.
Don Callis comes in. What do you want to talk about it? Why would Nick leave at this point? Why would he be okay leaving?
I don't know. I don't know. Don Callis is very good on the mic.
Yeah, man. It's got a nice tempo. He doesn't rush anything.
His delivery is very Heyman-esque.
Mm. But without being as over the top. It's more pulled
Well,
back.
Heyman knows when to not be over the top and when to.
Yeah.
Especially if you ever watched any of his ECW stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Louis N, is this a pre-recorded Dynamite? It is, yes. Big hello to everyone that's joined us.
Hey up. Thank you so much for joining us. Just watching the Don Callis and Matt Jackson making him feel guilty for leaving Kenny. I did. Jaden Velvet should be a drawn-out story ending at the end of a year in a pay-per-view. Cool. Let's see how it goes. Oh, Don Callis slapping.
You know, like the tag match was great, but you know that tag match would have been rehearsed and put together multiple times. We don't know. We've only seen Jay Cargill in that match, and then in a squash match, effectively. So we don't know what she can do, but we do know there is a ton of potential there with Jay Cargill. And so what you don't want to do is rush. Now, this is one of the things that I had. Now, I like Sadie Gibbs. You know, obviously Sadie did do some shows for us. Again, she's another product of the Res Gal. She trained with Anthony Ogogo, actually, back when Anthony first started coming down. But the fact of the matter is, I did not feel like when you start, it takes a while. Do you know what I mean? It's just like very few people are natural at getting this. And as I've told the story about Sadie Gibbs before. The first time she was ever in a wrestling ring, it was part of a WWE tryout. So, you know, it's a whole different ball game, though, with, you know, suddenly doing that and then being on TV having matches. And I do feel that AEW had her on TV doing matches way too soon, way too early. I do not feel that, you know, Sadie was anywhere near
where she needed to be,
TV ready, you know, to be on there. And I feel that it damaged Sadie as well because it was so clear that she wasn't ready. You know, and the other thing is they often put her in multi-person matches, which in theory makes sense because you're hoping that they just remember to do their spots. But actually, a number of people will start focusing on trying to remember all the other spots in the match. And then they'll forget where they are, and they'll just focus on that part, and they'll forget about the detail that links. It's not the moves that's the most important; it's the bits you do in between the moves that's the most important.
100% agree.
You know, and that is something that, you know, you would often see Sadie be able to do all these high flipping, you know, like Sasuke specials and everything. Because Sadie is a one of a kind athlete; she's absolutely incredible. But the bits in between was where she struggled because she was still, you know, very, very green. And that damaged Sadie. Whereas in a singles match, if you go ahead and you watch, go onto the YouTube channel and you watch Sadie Gibbs versus Katie Ray, it's arguably the best match she ever had in her entire career. And that's a one-on-one match because Katie could control her. Katie could direct her. And even then, you'll see Kaylee call a couple of, you know, spots if you know where you're looking, and you'll see that Sadie pays no attention to it whatsoever. Because, you know, Sadie's like, no, I'm going to do, you know, I do this part next. Point and, this is where I do, instead of actually listening. But at most of the time and best of the times, you know, Katie is one of the best in the world. Kaylee's able to keep control, you know, of Sadie and get Sadie to do the things that she should be doing as and when. But that's because it's Sadie versus Kaylee Ray. With all due respect to Red Velvet is not Kaylee Ray, and I don't think Red Velvet would even claim to be neither. And so what you don't want to do is take someone that's got all this potential in the world of being a superstar, just like Sadie Gibbs had, and put them in a position where you're going to expose them, because that's not your job. Your job is to take talent, and some of them may be raw and some of them may be green, and your job is to hide the negatives and push the positives.
Mm-hmm.
That's what your job is. And so to suddenly, if you're going to suddenly do Jade Cargill, in a back and forth match with someone like Red Velvet, then you need to know that match is done down to a T.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you run risk. Because here's the thing, Red Velvet's got a ton of potential too. Now we'll get very, very excited over Jade Cargill, but Red Velvet's got a ton of potential too. We shouldn't forget about that.
And she's also stood up to the plate in a difficult circumstance and done a really good job so far, and everything that she did in Dark actually as well. That I saw. The other thing, Dan, you was talking about transitions and stuff. So important, man. So important.
They've got to look clean.
Like without transitions,
you've got to look like you know what you're doing.
No match. If you go back and watch that Walter and Ilya Dragunov match, the part of the and to many extent the Christian Cage Frankie Kazarian match, what made that so good was the transitions and the way that they were fighting constantly. It wasn't just about this is a chokehold that I'm putting you into, or a chicken wing. This is I'm fighting you into this chicken wing. That's what you saw with Walter and Dragunov. It was another wonderful example of that. The transitions between the spots felt like a fight. And that's where you get this natural sort of fight where wrestling becomes great, Kenny Omega without any broom ladies, is this his thing for his tag team?
I mean, just Kenny, the Good Brothers, and Don Callis.
Cool.
What have we got? Jeff Adams says, I think Dustin Blade's in his sleep.
Yeah, probably. Same as Ric Flair.
Dustin Blade's good, but gigs so often it's near meaningless.
Yeah.
Oh, we're starting off with the dives.
Hey, Dan, what's going on with Pentagon?
Pac's hurt, and so they've got this series of Pentagon's. Pac's got an ankle injury at the moment.
Right.
And so Pentagon has basically ended up in this situation. And Laredo Kid's been brought in as well.
Yeah, it's just obviously Pentagon was had this.
He was a heel doing the thing with Cody,
and here they are. Super kick. Oh man, you forget this is Pentagon and Phoenix with Kenny Omega, man, and Laredo Kid. Wow.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you didn't see the match in AAA between Laredo Kid and Kenny Omega, it is available free on YouTube, and I highly recommend going back and watching it. It was a tremendous match.
That was the one this year, wasn't it?
Well, last year, Triple Mania.
Last year, Triple Mania. Yeah, I watched it. I couldn't believe Laredo Kid did the Hulk Hogan on the One Winged Angel. Kicked out just after 3. Oh.
Well, that would have been directed to him.
Yeah. No, great match. Nakazawa was in that match as well on the outside. Working with Kenny.
Yeah, Omega. In fact, I think there was a horrible. I think he was supposed to catch Kenny on a big dive on the outside, and did not catch him at all.
No,
that was a rough one.
That was a hell of a couple of weeks for Kenny Omega.
It really was.
Yeah.
And thought the Laredo Kid was going super loco with those trifecta of insults, but he ended on DOS.
Yeah, I enjoyed the main event for that Triple Mania as well. The Sting guy and someone else.
Sting guy, yeah. I know who you mean. The ridiculous stunt-filled match.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But you was doing a live stream of that, dude.
Sorry?
You was doing a live stream of that. I remember watching you do
that. I did do a live stream on that. Yeah. That's right. That was the first time I'd ever done a live stream.
Was it? Yeah, I remember watching.
Hello to the Wrestle Story.
Hey, lovely to see you. With Moxley, they need to have him be a champ, but still face a ton of adversity. What made Stone Cold's reign great in the Attitude Era was it was always felt like he was fighting a larger force. Yes. Yeah. 100% agree. I recently seen a movie with John Moxley. It's Jamel. Hey up, Jamel. Not seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well, mate. Saw a movie with John Moxley in it. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was pretty awesome. John Moxley had a stellar performance. Is that the UFC one or something?
Yeah, there's a cage fighting one that,
Cage
that he's
fighter.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't seen it.
Me neither.
No. Put logical roadblocks in to lengthen the odds even when he's champ. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Jeff, it seems easy, but then it's difficult. They just didn't seem to do that in his run for me. The closest it came was probably MJF.
Well, the issue with Moxley's reign was, it comes down to shit happens, and we didn't get a number of matches that we were scheduled to get. I mean, Eddie Kingston and John Moxley was not the scheduled pay-per-view match and pay-per-view feud,
No,
but
who
it
was
is what we ended up with due to injuries. And that is the story. And I think that what that leads to is a story of we didn't buy into the majority of Moxley's opponents as genuine threats to his championship. Like, I don't think any of us believed that Eddie Kingston was suddenly going to win the AEW title.
No.
You know, and that was a very ECW-esque booking that they suddenly did that. Because ECW, one of the things that they could be guilty of, if it is a thing to be guilty of, is booking the match for the quality of the match, even though, you know, majority of the people know who's going to win on it. So you're reliant then on people going, I know someone's going to, I know this person's going to win, but I really want to see the match. And that's dangerous because if anyone that's, you know, watches any kind of competitive, you know, sports, the matches that you're the most interested in are the ones where you're passionate about seeing who wins. You know, if you follow football and you're supporting a Premier League club, then if your Premier League club draw a non-league team in the FA Cup,
there's no excitement there.
It's not the match that you're necessarily going to tune in for.
No,
you know, but if it's between two of the top teams in the Premier League, yeah, you're going to tune in.
Excited, yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, and that's no disrespect. It's, you know, it's even though that what you're going to get between the non-league team and the Premier League team will be, you know, you'll see some great football from the Premier League team, and maybe you'll see a bit of an underdog comeback or something. The fact of the matter is, when it's two top league teams, you do not know who's going to win, and therefore you are more interested in. And I think that for me was the majority, the issue that I had. And I think we all then expected Kenny to win. So it then went the other way as well.
Maybe that was, but then also we've got to remember we've had a pandemic as well, of course. So I mean that plays into that,
and that would have absolutely impacted.
Well, it did, yeah. People not being able to turn up for work because of COVID, ultimately.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the Red Scale anymore because of COVID, you know. So massive issue.
Yeah. Dan,
and
the Good Brothers aren't doing it for me at the minute.
I think Good Brothers are a Marmite team for a lot of people.
I had no issue with them in sort of the New Japan stuff and some of the earlier stuff that I saw, but then WWE, they sort of slowed everything down because of WWE.
WWE have their style. This is what you do.
Yeah. And I just feel like they haven't got it back, maybe.
What would you like to see the Good Brothers do?
I don't know. Just feel more of a threat. Maybe I don't believe them.
I know what you mean. I think part of it is Anderson and Gallows look so big that you expect them to be these big brawlers that throw people around and brawl around the building, and then that's not really what you get.
No.
Carl Anderson is a hell of a worker.
Oh yeah, they both are, and they're both clean. I'm just not buying it, Dan.
Well, yeah, but is that because the presentation of the act perhaps doesn't match what you're visually seeing or expecting?
It could be the presentation. It could also be their. So I mean, that body drop was lovely, but it could be the presentation. It could be their speed as well. I think maybe. I don't know. There's just something about it.
When you say the speed, are you talking the pacing of the matches?
Yeah, the pace. Well, the pace, not necessarily the pacing of the matches, but the paces of when they're in the ring. I mean, even look at this match.
Well, that's match pacing.
Yeah.
You know, that's not them. You know, as such. You know, going in a way that people, you know, running the show don't want them to. You know, that is a deliberate move.
Mm.
And we've just come back from commercial right now, so we're now going for a false finish.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's not really a false finish.
I mean,
but
what are they doing here?
There's a Japanese style knocking off the tag partners first before then hitting a triple team move.
Yeah. Hmm. I just don't know if it's
Let's
great.
know in the chat what you guys think of the Good Brothers. If you could book, here we go. If you were booking the Good Brothers right now, from a match perspective, what would you be getting them to do? Because I can tell you, if it was me, I'd probably want more brawls from them. Because
More
I
brawls.
believe them. And I'd feel that when I see them wrestle, I don't see them going at their full pelt where I believe they would be at their most dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful.
Now, I think the issue is the fact that they are actually both very good workers. And therefore, you know, you'll get good matches. I think a potential other issue is the fact that they're so, you know, at least the look is that they're so much bigger than the majority of their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're so much bigger than the majority of their opponents. Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
You know, you're seeing, you know, some similar stories being told in the matches.
Oh, beautiful. If it bleeds, we kill it. Get to the chopper, you son of a botch. I'm going to have to skip a load of messages because I'm so far behind. Oh, no, I can do it. I can do it, Dan. If it bleeds, we kill it. You son of a botch. I think it was seen as character funny rapper, like Grant said. People saw through the fakeness of it. Maybe so. What are you waiting for? Kill me. What's the matter? Pushing too many pencils? Kick out. Oh,
Loads of Predator quote lines here.
there you go. I don't have time to bleed. Dan, what do you think
Jesse
about...
Ventura line in Predator?
Oh, this is a good question. What do you think about Rosa wanting a steel cage match with Cinema Arena Deep? I think AEW would put it on if things fall right for them and match.
Thunder Rosa wants a cage match.
Yeah, apparently she's been on unrestricted, and part of that she said, "What would a dream match be?" It'd be, I'm ad-libbing here, but apparently it'd be Serena Deeb in a cage match.
Yeah, interesting.
I think she said it. It's got to happen. Like you saw that last match, Dan, and if you can get that, like, give them that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to do a cage match, that means there's a program. You don't just do it.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
So she's obviously wanting the program that culminates in a cage.
Wow! What a kick and what a sell from Phoenix. Oh, I don't know if he should have kicked out of that. That was. I mean, I don't expected it to look that. I don't think they expected it to look that good, Dan. But everything was perfect about
phenomenal, that. Man. Phoenix is phenomenal.
Looked like a rear chicken, a naked choke.
Thing is, he's still selling from taking it, but
yeah. Oh,
he's like, it's the first time we've actually seen. Oh,
he's so good. Oh, and there's putting him to sleep with a flip over pile driver.
This is a shotgun finish.
Wow.
Anderson spinebuster.
Nice. Oh, out of nowhere. Did he fall from the ceiling, Dan?
No, I saw him springboard.
Yeah, I saw him on the shot before.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's all right.
It's, and the thing is, like, one thing to point out is we had a slower pace of match for a while, but that was actually during the commercial break.
It was,
for those other people.
Yeah.
And when they've come back, we've now gone into this hot finishing stretch and sequence.
Yeah.
And it is a hot finishing, sequence that we've got on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Weirdo Kid and Omega at it again. Going up.
Nice counter.
Beautiful catch. Man, his knees are so good. His knees are so good. Is Knox still standing? I thought he'd have been hit with everything that's going on, man. Oh, no. There we go.
Oh!
Oh! Where's he going? Where's he going, Dan?
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. We are watching a hell of a match. If you're not watching it, then, catch up tomorrow, guys, because this is a great one.
What a night, Dan. Again.
Corkscrew. Again, see the pacing of this, it was deliberate. They kicked it down and now they're going up. I still believe that I want to see it. And I saw someone saying about Butcher and Blade versus them. Yeah, that's a great match. Great brawl. I want to see it. Oh, my Lord.
Where did he come from?
Oh!
Oh!
This match.
Jesus Christ.
Freaking match.
Jesus Christ. Some talent, Dan.
Incredible match. Oh, slight little limp there.
Oh. Going for
this match. As the rest of the story said, this entire show has been good. It has. Here we go.
One Winged Angel. Straight into it. Bang.
Beautiful.
Done. Dan, I think you're a bit far away from your mic. It's getting a little bit choppy.
Is it really?
It was, yeah, for a second there.
A bit closer then. Better?
Yeah, I think so. Dustin Blade's good, but gigs so often it's near meaningless. Inner Circle versus Pinnacle in a Blood and Guts match at the next pay-per-view. When's the next pay-per-view? It depends when it is.
It's not for a couple of months still.
Yeah, you could probably do it in the next pay-per-view then.
Their pay-per-views are every 3 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it depends on the story, probably. What's Moxley doing out? What's going off here, Dan? I like this, says Louis N. Mate, this show's been great. Sammy G and Sean Spears match coming soon to Dynamite. Yes. I've joined the Discord. Thank you, Duncan. Inner Circle was in the disabled store. Heat? Question mark. Hello, Snazzy Futuristic. Hope you're doing well. I kept wondering if Inner Circle breakup, Winter Time Face. What's it been? Almost 2 years as a heel group. Yeah, but they'll go for a good run as faces, I think.
Interesting.
Nick has a bad leg, remember? Was that Matt needing surgery on it? There was stories of Matt Jackson needing surgery, but doesn't seem to be that true, does it?
What's that, sorry?
Matt Jackson needing surgery on his ACL?
I don't know. I mean, they're certainly setting up for him and having a match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so it can't be, dire emergency.
Can you let me know if Dan's audio is coming through well for you guys? That's all I care about. Sorry, I don't know what it is, Dan.
Very interesting. But you're still having issues with it?
Yeah, no, it sounds fine now. It just felt a bit. You'll have to watch it back on the stream.
I was very quiet on the pay-per-view. Was it a pay-per-view we did?
Mate, that was me.
Fiend came back?
So I had problems with my mic earlier on, and I was really super loud in that. And what it was, and I was also echoey. And what it was is I had my mic set up as I normally have it, but then I had the default mic turned up as the mic, and I think it was 2 conflicting channels.
Right.
So I think that's why. So sorry about that. But we heard you say the Toxic Avenger. Oh my god, it's trauma.
Okay, so I've just gone and listened to some of it, and I sound fine in my opinion.
Oh dear, okay.
You actually sound a little bit further away and quieter than me.
Oh, do And Nick has bad leg. Don Callis reminds me of Jake the Snake, but not as gravelly with his voice. I remember hearing RJ Singh has signed with AEW a while back, or at least was talking about it. Really? I didn't know that. Johan and Dan have nice commentary. Dan, yeah, he does a great job, even on the Eve streams. Oh, please go and what am I doing? Pro Wrestling Eve. Go and check them out, man. The link is in the description. We always do a watch along of them beforehand. It's absolutely wonderful. We all have a good time. Ivan was watching it with us. It was fun.
I'm having some issues actually on my numbers at the moment on there, and I found out a few days ago that YouTube is punishing live streamers.
Really?
And basically what it is, I spoke to a number of professional YouTubers. Some of them have very big channels. And I actually posted, one of them actually did a video about this. Because as you know, when you first joined in and was watching Eve, we were doing anywhere from like 400 to up to 1,000 people watching live.
People, yeah.
You know, and that is significantly lower now. And it's when you go into the analytics, you see that the impressions is the issue, and the impressions means how many times YouTube is suggesting a video, and YouTube isn't suggesting it anymore, anywhere near the level that it was, and a number of professional YouTubers who were doing incredibly well, with their channel, and then decided to start live streaming, have found the exact same thing. And at first it was doing very well, but then their whole channel started to suffer as a result. And the reason being is YouTuber decided to, include the retention time of live streams is the same as the retention times of a normal video. And of course, if you've got a live stream going on, you've constantly got new people coming in and checking it out, and some people will stay and some people won't. And sometimes with your channel, you'll get people who just want to come in and say, I can't stay for this one. I'm going to catch up with it later, but I wanted to say hello because you've got the interaction aspect. YouTube doesn't like that. And so that has led to a number of people, damn near killing their channels as a result of it.
Jesus.
And that is the reason why so many people are moving over to Twitch. And as I said, I've spoken to a number of professional YouTubers who didn't want to move over to Twitch, but they feel like they've got no choice now because this is what YouTube is doing to them. And it also means that they don't really want to do live streaming anymore. They just want to record the videos and go to upload because their retention times are stronger. So...
Dan, it might end up happening on this channel, to be perfectly honest, mate. It's we have got a Twitch page, but I've been reluctant to use it. But actually, maybe that's what needs to happen, man. And
yeah, it's certainly
well.
Absolutely. There's the reason why, like, a number of professional YouTubers have moved from, YouTube over to Twitch because YouTube is punishing them for basically doing the live streams.
Well, there we go. I mean, thankfully, guys, we can do both. But the nice thing about Twitch is it's so easy to share support. We don't need 1,000 subscribers, which we need on here. Which is hard work. We need 1,000 subscribers to unlock some of the features of YouTube to be able to encourage growth on the channel. It's hard work.
It is. It is.
So the bunny is now with Matt Hardy?
Yeah, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny, all with Matt Hardy.
Right. So is this just a way of getting Matt Hardy out to the crowd? Because I don't think it needs...
Well, it's using an established name to get other people over, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
And, and that is what they're trying to do here, is just use those established names to get other people over. Cherry Bomb, the Bunny, known as Cherry Bomb on the independent scene, and I forget what her name was in TNA. I worked with her a couple of times. She worked the Resgal because, of course, everyone bloody worked the Resgal. Although not Hikaru Shida. Although Hikaru Shida did work for me, did work for Eve. It was not at the Resgal.
Where was that done, and what show was it?
Nottingham.
Oh, Nottingham.
Nottingham, yeah. I did a weekend of shows in Nottingham.
Nice. What shows were they called for people to have a look?
Well, we did Eve versus Ice Ribbon. So Ice Ribbon, a Japanese promotion. It was the place where the AEW women's tournament action took place on the Japanese side. Right. And at the time, Emi Sakura was the person that ran Ice Ribbon. So it was Emi Sakura, Hikaru Shida, Sakasa Fujimoto, and the now retired Hikaru Minami. It was the first time that a Japanese promotion had ever competed as a promotion, a women's promotion, in the UK or just outside of Japan as a whole.
Right.
And we basically did Eve versus Ice Ribbon, and we did matches like Hikaru Shida versus Kaylee Ray, Nikki Cross versus Hikaru Shida. Yeah. Like, we did some, Nikki Cross and Hikaru Shida possibly was the best match of the whole weekend. It was tremendous. Nikki Cross had a hell of a weekend. Nikki and Tsukasa Fujimoto as well. Tremendous match.
Right. Wow.
It was the weekend where I was adamant that people were going to realize how good Nikki is. And it's, you haven't really seen on the main roster how good. You've got an idea from a character perspective that Nikki can, portray the character.
Yeah.
But not since she's come out of, NXT, where she had a tremendous feud with Asuka.
Oh, cracking matches.
Tremendous last woman standing match that the two had. If you've seen any of Nikki on Eve, like you saw her match against alpha female Jazzy Gabur.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, no, I've known Shida for many, many years.
Great work in the ring there by Nyla Rose, by the way, with Hikaru Shida, and then Hikaru Shida taking it out on.
I really like Nyla Rose. I tell you what, she's got a lot better as well. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's, do they get better?
Yeah.
And Nyla Rose has gotten so much better.
Really
in a short amount of time.
Yeah, really has.
Same as Britt Baker. In fact, their whole women's division, the growth of their women's division is incredible.
Outstanding. And I feel like having Hikaru Shida, is just great for them because she's such a talent.
She is a great talent. She's a very well-rounded talent at that.
Yeah.
And that's what, one of the things that is helpful for the promotion as a whole in having that as a champion.
Mm-hmm.
And having that person as a backstage leader as well, because, remember, Emi Sakura was the person that was supposed to be in this role.
Yeah.
But obviously because of the pandemic, that is not something that was able to happen.
No.
But having Serena Deeb's involvement, Thunder Rosa's involvement as well, like, it is a much stronger division than it was when this pandemic first happened.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. And not only that, like, performers have stepped up to the mark, like Anna Jay and stuff like that as well,
Just seeing Grant McGloin saying, I'd follow Eve and Hollier on Twitch. Well, you can follow Eve on Twitch because we're already on there. And you've just searched Eve Wrestling Network, which is what the YouTube channel will at some point change to as well.
Oh, is that what you decided on?
Yeah, it's just everyone knows what a network is.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to change. For those that don't know, I didn't know what to change it to, but I knew I needed to change the actual YouTube channel. The promotion name of Eve and Riot Girls of Wrestling does not change, but the tube channel name itself, because there's going to be more content. This is one of the reasons why I'm so busy at the moment, is we're just recording so much new content to be going up onto the channel. So to then obviously be going through what we've been going through over the last month or so with YouTube punishing us for doing live streams is kind of just makes you feel like,
deflating.
Why am I even bothered?
Yeah,
very deflating.
Yeah, I bet, man. Sadie said she started in 2017 and 3 years later signed with AEW. Sadie Gibbs, is that? Well, Dan could tell.
Yeah, that'll be Sadie. She, as I mentioned, the first time she was ever in the ring was as part of her WWE tryout.
Right, wow.
Which is a hell of a daunting thing. From there, she then came to us at the London School of Lucha Libre, later Eve Academy. That's where she then came and training under Greg Burridge.
Kelly Ray is so talented. I can agree with that, Jake. I see what you're saying, Dan, about Jade. Right now, she has the mic, promo skills down, decent, and Velvet is just starting to grow. That's why I said at the end of the year, but time will tell. Absolutely, Raymond. Absolutely, man. The rest of the story, hi, Maven, and him, Mr. G. Oh, wow. Got to be careful with them exploders. That's what ended up hurting Britt Baker, wasn't it? Something like that into the corner.
Well, it was a snap suplex into the corner, but it was the foot seemed to catch.
Was it? It was Nyla Rose as well, wasn't it?
It was Nyla, yeah.
Yeah. Mr. G, Cam will be on the stream today for singing a song. Very cool.
Oh, beautiful. And Tainara Conti is another prime example of the great progress that a number of the women in AEW have made. Because,
Mate,
and I've spoken about this before, how long she was part of the WWE system, and then to suddenly see that growth as part of AEW is incredible.
100% agree. She was in NXT for such a long time and didn't do anything, and then to see her in this, and man.
And how many people, shook their heads, at the AEW signing Tainari Conti, and she's really the person that's had the last laugh.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Backbreaker there. And here goes the two factions. A lot of factions though, Dan.
A lot of factions. It's almost like we're going to get a trios title.
I feel like we might have too many factions, Dan.
Well, if the purpose is to give a reason to establish a trios championship, I have no problems with it.
Okay.
They have a very big roster as well, let's not forget.
Well, that's it. But I also feel like this has been faction episode.
Oh. Well, it's all the Dark Order.
No, but the Butcher and the Blade are there as well, so why were they holding...
Okay, so this Butcher and the Blade was sandwiched in between the Dark Order.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, she's got a kendo stick. A decent match.
Yeah, no, fun, action-packed match.
Yeah, man. Oh.
Good.
Wow.
Good match. I enjoyed that. Good action-packed match.
Absolutely.
Right length as well. Dug that. Ton of action. The Bunny gets a win, gets some establishment on her. Tainari Conti has been winning constantly on TV as well, so it's a big win for the Bunny.
Yeah, she's got win face all over her, Dan. She had it from the start. Cool. Jack, there's a third 12 rounds. I don't know. Yeah, it's better than the second one. Cool. Good Brothers versus FTR. I think right now they are more enforcers for Omega. They follow his lead and may hold him, and it may seem to hold them back. Maybe so.
Maybe. I don't know. That end of that trios match was great, and when the pace was slowed down, it was to make the
adverts
interesting. Against JD Drake. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so JD Drake wrestled at the Resgal against an NXT UK guy called Saxon Hurley.
Saxon Huxley.
And he JD Drake legitimately knocked Saxon out cold.
Oh, really?
He just hit him so he had heat on him because everyone was watching the match. It was like he was just being so stiff. It was like borderline reckless. And people were literally like, he's going to get hurt. And sure enough, he hit him so hard that, he knocked him out.
Oh, dear.
And when I mean knocked him out, I mean, it was scary. He went stiff, stiff as a board.
Jesus.
It was not good. So I'm always a little bit like, I didn't like how he dealt with it after, personally. Okay.
Has he got a King Kong tattoo or something? Okay, whatever.
Godzilla vs. Kong panel watching that this weekend.
Is that out this weekend?
Yep.
Oh, what they're releasing it
on? It's both online and well, not in the cinema over here because our cinemas aren't open yet. I don't believe. I think our cinemas open. Is it May? Our cinema opens.
That's when they're looking at doing theaters. So
yeah. So here we are, main event time. If nobody here follows Dr. Bo Hightower on YouTube, then do so and watch Dr. Bo Hightower's video with Miro. You get an idea for who Miro is in real life, and that was actually edited down to try and make sure there was still some strong badass in there, because he's a very charismatic individual,
Yeah.
very funny. And Dr. Bo Hightower is a chiropractor to the stars. He deals with WWE wrestlers, AEW wrestlers in general, but also strongmen, UFC fighters. So search Dr. Bo Hightower, and you can watch wrestlers out of character getting chiropractor treatments and being in a lot of pain. Bless them. Lana's on there.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of them.
John Jones. Francis Ngannou, actually, from last week.
There you go. Yeah, no, I think I've seen
Jack
it before.
says cinemas open May 17.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that's when they're looking at doing shows again. But at the same time, Europe's looking pretty bad as well at the minute, so let's not...
Well, France went into lockdown today, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And they've got it real bad again. So
yes, they do.
And the trend has been, they get it, we end up a few weeks later.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but our numbers aren't anything to worry about so far, so let's take that as a bit of positive.
Absolutely. We just have to see how that goes. The Good Brothers versus the Butcher and the Blade, says Matty D.
I'm all for that. Again, that's a good fight, and I think sometimes, one of the things that kind of feels like it's a bit missing in regularity from AEW is those big guy hoss fights.
Yep.
Because there's so many tremendous young athletic wrestlers that when you see some big guys, I kind of like to see them against some big guys.
Yeah.
I want a bit of variety, a bit more versatility. And it's not me complaining about what we're seeing on AEW. This show itself has been tremendous. But, let's see some of the bigger guys as well going at it, because their big guys are tremendous. And we know if you've watched, the Eve channel, and you've seen some of my XWA shows, and you've seen things like Keith Lee and Daisuke Sekimoto, big boys that can go, is hella entertaining.
One of the matches on Dynamite that always sticks in my head with that was Will Hobson, Brian Cage. Outstanding, man.
Yeah, big hoss fight. All there for it.
And I mean, that was like watching two guys, strength that can lift the amount of weight that they was both lifting, yet just make it look like they're lifting Darby Allin. Just mad. The entire show has been good. Indeed, it has. Story. My internet had a fit, and now the stream is perfectly synced with what I'm seeing on AEW. Perfect, Grant. Yes, it has been. Laredo Kid, unbelievable. Rope walk out of nowhere. Was that Laredo Kid, or I thought that was...
That was Phoenix.
Next pay-per-view is May the 30th. The wrestling was great, but too much going on to enjoy. That match, I don't know. I could sort of keep up. I see.
Yeah, no, I had no problem. I don't think there was too much going on at all.
No.
But hey, that doesn't mean that you're wrong, by the way, Duncan. No. That's just different horses, different courses.
I see Blood and Guts now being in a circle and the Pinnacle. Yeah, I think so. Moxley.
Yeah, I would say that's the way they're going. Yeah. And here we go. The Pixies track playing.
Yeah. I wonder how much they paid for that.
And they've bought it in perpetuity as well.
Have they?
Yeah.
And
Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. Great track. Cracking song.
Guys,
I saw some people complaining that it wasn't energetic enough to be an entrance music. And I was like,
Orange Cassidy?
Yeah, and I was like, that's the point. It's not supposed to be energetic. It's supposed to... And I think it matches Orange Cassidy perfectly.
Perfectly, yeah. I can hear damn fine. Good, thank you. I remember the joys of live streaming. Absolutely, man. Pro Wrestling Eve is awesome. Indeed, it is. A good match, this Eve. Eve kicks ass. I've heard that.
Nice.
I know, I love Eve. I feel bad that I left earlier now. Hey, it's all good, my dude. It's all good. We've had a great show, though, Grant. We use both BS. I think Trent's showing up in this, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know what his health situation's like, but I suppose he doesn't need to be healthy to have show up in any form.
No. This is going to be goofy, isn't it, man? Oh, here we go. Mallet
It'll
on the back
start
of the
as
head.
goofy. I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll get some serious stuff a little bit later on.
Oh,
Miro's
like
so
that.
good.
He is. Well, when he's
You
on
wanna-
fire.
You know, I want to see Miro versus Lance Hoyt, or what's his name? Sorry, Lance
Archer.
Lance Archer.
Yeah, that'd be
Lance
nice.
Hoyt was
That'd
his,
be really
Impact.
good, Dan.
I want to see, Rusev against him. I want to see Rusev against your Carl Anderson, your Doc Gallows. I want to see, I keep saying Rusev. I want to see Miro. I want to see Miro and all the big boys.
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. Give me Miro versus Brian Cage.
Yeah. The mallet. He won't taking it soft like he was either.
No, exactly.
Here, Dan,
Yeah, Miro said as well on that Dr. Bo Hightower chiropractor one that he said that if he doesn't win the title this year, then he's retiring.
Oh, really?
That's his take. He goes, if I'm not good enough to win the title this year, I'm retiring from wrestling.
There you go.
So, you know, it's it's April 1st here in the UK right now.
Danny ain't winning he might win the TNT title.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. I'd like to see the TNT title on some big boys because again, you get different style, different matches.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you've got the title on Kenny Omega, you're going to get, the smaller guy style of matches.
Dan, I feel like Miro's listened to all the sort of criticism that we've had for the last few weeks and gone, I need to turn this into, I need to be a monster again.
I don't know. I don't think he's necessarily listened to all that. I think it's just, you can only push so many people at a time and you can't run with everyone at the same time. So they did what they did with Miro, which matched who he is as a person. They were pushing his Twitch, his gaming, which is what he wanted at the start.
Yeah.
And now they're ready to take the character a little bit further in different directions. And now there's the space potentially to do more. Especially as, we're talking about the TNT title and we have a babyface TNT champion.
Yeah.
And, who better than Miro to take that title off and get a run?
Mm.
And do the things that we're talking about.
You see, I disagree slightly because I think Miro wanted this character to work, but I don't think it did. And I feel like someone backstage has probably said to him, actually, that isn't working.
Oh, that I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was always in the minds that at some point Miro was going to have to, that Miro was going to have to become a bit more like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I don't believe that, how they brought him in has worked in the way that they intended.
Well, I think they let him do what
they
he
also
wanted
seem
to do.
Give up on it and not be as consistent on it, or it didn't get the TV time that it perhaps needed.
Because this is all about Miro, isn't it?
Yeah, this is, and so much of what we've seen over the last few weeks has been about Miro. Yeah. Running in and not caring about Penelope, throwing Kip Sabian off and, sacrificing Kip for him to do well. And, Miro is being booked as the dangerous one here.
I mean, Kip's been out since the Whack-A-Mole segment.
Yeah, exactly. This has all been about him.
Oh. Kendo stick.
Let's have a quick go through the comments here. There are a few live streamers on YouTube that I watch whose Twitch but are aspects I don't want to sign up to. No, I don't blame them. I know Twitch doesn't have the outreach. This is what a lot of problem have. A lot of people have. A lot of professional YouTubers have is they didn't really want to go to Twitch because Twitch doesn't have the outreach that YouTube does. But they kind of feel like they have no choice if they want to do any live streaming. Raymond Kennan says the best thing, and I hate to say it, was Baker really getting hurt, but she was able to work on a heel promos and make more believable as a heel. That happens to a number of people. The Rock is another one. Randy Orton is another one. That when they have that timeout, it's one of the reasons why in Eve you'll see if someone gets hurt, I'll often still keep them around because if you're around wrestling when injured, you'll actually and doing other jobs like commentary or various assortment of jobs, you'll actually pick up other things because you'll realize and other ways that you can improve and get better. Because you realize just like, maybe some people are going too fast in there and it makes life difficult for the commentators. And if commentators can't tell you the story, then that hurts your match.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things there. So yeah, often being injured and having that time to take away can be very good for your career. You can turn the negatives into positives.
Yeah.
Jeff Adams, I got my first vax shot on Saturday.
Nice.
Well done, Jeff. Pleased to hear it.
How was you on it? And which one did you get, Jeff, out of interest? That does feel like a bit of a rude thing to ask, doesn't it? Britt should just come out at the end of this match and ruin everybody with a chair. I expected something like that in the women's match, but I'm a bit pissed off we hadn't had Thunder Rosa either this week or last week after winning that match.
Yeah, I didn't understand why was it last week's AEW? It was the follow-up to Thunder Rosa getting the big, vanquishing the big enemy.
It's going to be Lego, Dan. Sorry, go on.
It Lego. Is. It's Lego. Have they been watching? They've been watching some Eve.
Maybe so, man.
Have they been watching some Addie Star?
Eva Luna, of course, in Eve in a Lego match with Rhea Ripley, Addie Star, and
Rhea O'Reilly, even.
Rhea O'Reilly and
Addie Star
and Havoc. Yeah.
Yep. That was a hell of a
match. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would have sucked. That would have sucked for Kip as well.
So, Dan, have you ever taken a Lego bump, mate?
Fuck no. And I never will. Not purpose. I've taken that, accidental Lego bump at home because my boy is Lego mad.
What would you rather take, the Lego or the thumbtacks? Ouch, ouch, ouch. What are you doing, Kip? Neither. Oh, my word. Beautiful.
Wow, they gave Kip a kick out of his finish.
Beautiful fluidity there.
Like, I don't think people have ever seen like just how good Kip is.
No, well, he's very good. He was a big part of World of Sport, wasn't he? He was in a tag team with someone. Who was he in a tag team with?
Don't know. Didn't really watch it.
Didn't you?
I watched like the first episode, and I might have watched the second, but I didn't see Kip on there. After that, I found the program very, problematic.
Chris Statlander's back. I think Joey said, "Damn, I love a claw machine." Well, Chris Statlander, that's what you've got. Nice. Again, another wonderful
Great
talent.
Super. I mean, she is still super young and green though, so I hope people don't expect. I hope people don't expect like an Emi Sakura or Hikaru Shida level performer with her, but she is an exciting prospect.
Yeah.
Super gifted athlete as well. Was actually going to be a part of She Won.
Oh, was she?
But life basically. But yeah, like she can hit a shooting star press. Right. Like she's a great athlete, and the thing is, you look at her and you wouldn't necessarily think that's someone that could do a shooting star. Yeah. She's a great athlete.
We get into a big spot, Dan.
Yikes.
We've had everything with the other side. We're getting something with them arcade machines.
I love the fact that there's a Mortal Kombat, Streets of Rage. That Streets of Rage, or is that Primal Rage? I think that's Primal Rage. Killer Instinct 2 there.
Mario Brothers. And Pac-Man, of course. Wacka, 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 wacka. Oh,
chair shots. I still play Pac-Man, actually. I play mainly retro games, as I've said before.
nice.
Doom, more than anything else.
Doom.
Classic Doom.
Mate, they
Miro,
just put out.
outstanding.
Speaking of classic games, this wouldn't be what you'd consider classic, but they've just released an Evil Genius 2.
I don't know what Evil Genius is.
You play a superhero villain and an evil base, and you have to manage the superhero base. And it's his mum.
Oh, so this here comes Trent then.
Yeah.
Is this Trent?
Yeah, it'd be Sue.
Well, we do know that the babyface team has to win because otherwise Chuck becomes the butler, forever, and that can't happen.
Oh, he got a kiss off his mum, Dan.
Well, that fires him up, apparently.
And fire me up, Dan.
Chris Statlander, Trent back. It's a great main event.
Yeah, really good. It's something I wasn't looking forward to, but then at the same point had this element of there's a reason this is main event, and there's a reason that this is,
And here's the thing, when you put people like this as the main, you'll never see WWE put mid-card or undercard guys in a main event position, because what that does is that also helps elevate them in the minds of fans.
Yeah.
That, that these guys can be in the main event. And that nobody loses here when you try to, get these people over that are regular cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is no bad thing. I really, really respect their mentality. Oh, Miro going after Trent's mum. The door's still open.
Sue. Close your door, love.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
Oh, he's just gonna eat the car, Dan. He's gonna street fighter the car.
Jeff Adams says he got the Pfizer shot, if that's what you're asking, which is what you was asking.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, the Pfizer one. Good, cool. So, less side effects from the Pfizer one, dude.
Wrestle Story says he'd rather a thumbtack than a Lego.
Yeah. Lego's not very nice, Dan.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 2. And we are only a few days away from Mortal Kombat movie coming out, which looks awesome.
What have they done?
That does not look like
it looks crap. And he's holding it too light, man. No need for that. Come on.
Well, you saw there was a little thing that said tokens on the front.
Yeah.
It was. Oh, that would have sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have sucked to take.
But at least I saved the crappy cardboard Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
nice spear.
And now Kip's left.
Oh, it's good fun, Dan. Good fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Big bump coming. There's the finish.
Oh, man, don't do the count on the pad, man. Did you see that?
On the what?
On the crash pad, whatever it was, the air pad that they used underneath that.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought he did it on the table.
He did it on the table, but under that there was boxes or something or whatever it was to lessen the load. And it was bouncing gently. We get the Pixies. Watch the pin. Oh no.
Yeah, cut. Nice.
Yeah. Got to give the people what they want, Dan. We all go home happy. Chris Statlander.
There's Chris Statlander.
Nice. Cool.
That is a cool moment. Yeah. And the thing is, they all look great for being in the main event segment.
Absolutely.
Thumbs up to the mum as well.
Got the Pixies playing.
And this is cool as well with the Pixies playing.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good directing here. That was a really good show, yo.
Really, really good show. Really enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me, Dan.
No, thanks for having me. I really, really enjoyed that show. Great AEW action.
Variety, man. A lot of variety.
Very rarely do I not enjoy an AEW show.
Let's do a couple of comments and then we will go for a quick review and we will be over in 30 minutes time.
Yep.
Cool. So a couple of comments. There were a few live streamers on YouTube and I watched who use Twitch, but there are aspects of it I don't want to sign up to. That's fair enough, Duncan, man. The best thing I hate saying, it was Baker getting hurt more believable as a heel. You went through that earlier. Regardless of this feud being drawn out too long, hopefully they end it with a bang and Miro puts everyone through arcade machines at the end. Yeah, that's what I was sort of expecting, but actually I love that ending. I really enjoyed the feel-good ending to a show where we don't normally get that. Oh, God. Love me some Claw Machine. I guess Miro will be retiring. Oh, no, I don't think he'll be retiring. I got the filter shot. Yeah. Build a spaceship. Ow! Legos hurt more than thumbtacks, in my opinion. Lol. We can all just imagine it, can't we? It's Statlander. She's back. Claw Machine, baby. Awesome. Statlander's back. Women's division getting back to being healthy. Glad to see her return. Well, she's come at a great time for the women's division as well, which is great for her.
Yeah.
Last two Dooms you enjoyed?
Dooms.
Yeah, Dooms.
No, here's the thing with those last two Dooms, right? I don't know if I would. Now, I do actually have them on the PC. But the reason why I haven't played them is it's like I'm an old school. I know what my original Dooms is. I know the controls. I'm a natural. I can play it, blindfolded. I wouldn't be any good because, of course, I wouldn't. But nonetheless, I know what I'm doing. I know the control. I know what I'm playing. What I really want is more levels released for the old Doom. That's what I want. There's a lot that goes on in these modern day games. Doom guy doesn't jump either, but in these new games, like he's got super jump.
Oh, has he?
So,
could you not manage the jump button?
Well, we just didn't have that back in the day. You
didn't have a jump button back in
No,
the day.
It was the way Doom really, without trying to
joystick.
Well, no. Well, no, it was initially it was a keyboard.
On which console?
Neither. It was a PC game. In fact, Doom was so popular that Microsoft did a deal with ID Software, who created Doom, to actually have Windows 95, come with Doom.
Yes,
and that's what led to Windows becoming so popular, because everyone wanted a copy of Doom, and it was so popular as well that it was actually blamed for productivity in numerous offices around the world going down because everyone was trying to play Doom.
Yeah, I do.
So if there's I love Doom. I love the history of Doom. And if you're ever interested in retro gaming and the effects, because Doom has been blamed from everything from a lack of a reduction in productivity and workers around the world to massacres to all sorts of things. It's a historic game, but it was also the first of its kind. The first to run the engine that it did, the first to be able to do a 3D shooter that's not actually 3D. So it's just clever coding. Anyway.
Jack, never say Doom again, please. You say Doom and Dan just goes on one.
Yeah.
Brother. He loves it. But you've got books and stuff as well, haven't you? You've got like everything. You're this is like Star Wars level of depth for you in.
Oh, I love me some Doom, yeah.
There we go. I'm so excited for next Wednesday after AEW One Championship FC is on TNT. An MMA promotion, Demetrius Johnson, second best fighter ever versus Moraes. I'll be watching next weekend. Is
certainly
huge.
One of the greatest flyweights. I don't know if he's the second best, but Demetrius Johnson kind of came around at a time where there was Demetrius Johnson in the flyweight division, and then there was everyone else, and it was just one of those situations where there was just such a huge gap between Demetrius Johnson, kind of like what it is in the women's divisions right now, with the exception of the strawweight. With Amanda Nunes, it's just there's literally like Amanda Nunes, and then there's everyone else. And there's a little bit of that in the strawweight division with Valentina Shevchenko, but I digress.
It's all good, man. Trent's back. Yes, he is. Sue to the rescue. Yes, she did indeed. Agree. Great show. Great stream, guys. Glad you've had a good time, and thank you all for doing this with us. Dan needs to do a live stream blindfolded. Wow.
Okay.
I
mean, there's lots of ways that I can take that. I don't know if any of them are good.
You can be blindfolded. I'll be gagged. How about that?
Right. Okay then.
Your eyes. Your words. My eyes.
Right. Okay.
It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. Yes, Trent is back. Hopefully he's healed to wrestle again. Well, it seems like he was, certainly. Miro beating up a car. Damn, man, took my words. Street Fighter style. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm here for that.
Was it Zangief that was a bit like Rusev in terms of the big muscly man?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that Zangief is the most like, yeah.
Zangief and Miro. Orange Cassidy, the King of Sloth. Yeah, but there was no gimmick in that match. It was just Orange Cassidy sold like a king, man. It looked great.
Yeah.
No silliness apart from the hammer, but I mean that was used by Miro.
It was right at the start. It's when you're going to get the silly stuff is at the start.
Yeah, but they didn't go for the normal Orange Cassidy one, and that's what they need to do.
Here's the thing: if that had been a WWE style arcade Anarchy or whatever the hell it was called, right? You know full well there'd have been so much ridiculousness, and the commentators would have been laughing throughout it, and they was able to take something that sounded silly and actually make it something.
Absolutely, and give us just enough and turn it into something else as well.
Yeah.
Original Doom had a groundbreaking soundtrack because the amount of people said that it wasn't going to work because it'd get boring, and I said that to a point. I did a really good video.
What, the Doom soundtrack?
No, I'm on about Orange Cassidy.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry, are we lost in conversation?
I thought it was it's just the way you went in from the Doom soundtrack. I was going to say, because you're not wrong. That's one thing about the new Dooms, BFG Division. You got to check that track out.
I'm so lost. I'm thinking about Orange Cassidy. You're talking about Doom.
And not to mention in Doom's Gate as well, which is just absolute classic. Most of the tracks in Doom are just kind of like rip-offs of some banging tunes like 9 Inch Nails. There's a secret in Doom as well where you actually see the NIN logo spelled out in bonuses. But anyway, carry on.
Right, we're doing a review, Dan. Before this gets too doomy or too kinky, as Grant points out. No, it's going to get stuck in my head. Sorry. Cool. Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian. This is a match that we sort of come into with setting up the live stream, and it was a bloody fantastic match. Christian Cage with this sort of idea of being rusty in the ring, yet being able to find himself. But there was no ring rust there. His selling was phenomenal.
Oh, it was tremendous. Great match. I obviously missed the start of it. Thoroughly enjoyed the match. There was no real talks with regards to Kenny and Christian tonight. I like the fact that Christian's not really being, jumped straight into everything that's been going on with Moxley. Yep. I like the fact that it's more of a slow burn. We know the direction, but there is a longer story at play there.
Killswitch looked great. Kazarian looked great, man. If this was our one good match of the night, great. But it wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. While walking with Sting, Darby Allin's talking about big money because money doesn't mean nothing to him while wearing a Matt Hardy mask. Dan, I'd rather this than them bring them out for a promo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It mixes it up a little bit.
Yeah. They certainly move things along, not in necessarily the same way that WWE would, and in different ways. And all good.
If Joey Bellbottom says, if you two were a tag team, you'd be Gloom and Doom.
I assume I'm Doom.
I'll be Gloom. Jade Cargill cut a promo that reminded us who she was, I guess, which is fine, but we get to see her in another segment later on, which was probably way better. Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall, an exhibition match. My camera's just gone off. Hello. A lot of this was... It was a bit weird, Dan, the actual setup for this match.
Which match are we on, sorry?
Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. I didn't really get the point in the exhibition match thing.
Yeah, I understood the point, which is they're trying to get over the fact that, the Nightmare family, get that family over, I don't want to fight you, that kind of thing, which is why I brought up the situation with Dustin.
Yeah.
So I get what they were going for there. But was what it was.
But obviously the big story is the breakup at the end. Has my memory card run out?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that is the big story. It's the breakup. Oh yeah, no signal. I don't even know if there's any audio coming.
It should
Yeah.
be. I think I'm fine on.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
The where were we? Just saying. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if we're going to get a story of two training schools, of QT's training school and Dustin Rhodes' training school. I wonder if we're going to get something along those lines. But what we got was name notoriety tonight happening for Anthony Ogogo, for Nick Camarado, there is another gentleman as well whose name I've forgotten, who was on their side also. In addition to a bit more focus on Lee, surname I've forgotten, Johnson.
Yeah.
I went to say Lee Marshall, which is a very old school WCW commentator. So bizarre that happened to me. That came to mind. But we got some focus for for those young guys, and they're surrounded by some names, so everyone benefits here.
There we go. Everyone in chat, you've got everyone talking about Doom. Dan, Secret Stream is going to be about Doom, so hang around for that.
Okay, cool.
Well, I knew you'd love it. I agree with Dan. Only things that I didn't really like, Dustin didn't need to bleed during that. I think it takes away from the sort of attack of Lee Johnson and stuff like that, which I actually think should have been more of the focus here, because you put over that guy. But I love the fact that they've got this depth to it. Red Velvet running out, and then later on, straight afterwards, gets attacked backstage by Jade Cargill. Makes complete sense. Don't have her as part, because they could have easily have had Cargill come out and save there, and we could have been questioning if Jade Cargill was with QT Marshall. But actually, she doesn't need that, and perfect. I sort of said that as we was watching it. We got a promo with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, which was interesting that those two have been linked together.
Yeah. I feel like when Scorpio lost the TNT Championships shot, probably a good place to go with him now in a different tag team. And actually, they could be a really dynamic tag team. So, yeah, see where it goes.
Yeah.
John Moxley versus Cezar Bononi. Or Bonai. But Bononi? Bononi. Another good match, man. I mean, Cezar looks really dominant in the ring, Dan.
Yeah, again, no one lost from that. I felt that, all bonus. Everyone looked, Cezar Bononi came out looking stronger. And as I mentioned, if he ends up in a match with another, mid-card guy, next week, for example, I'm not saying he will, I'm just saying hypothetically, normally we'd say, well, the other guy's winning, not Cezar Bononi. But because of this match and because of the amount of offense he got against Moxley, now you'd be like, oh, I don't know who's going to win. And I like that because, as I always say, if people don't care about wins and losses, they're not going to tune in. And you look at this past week's rating for Monday Night Raw, 2 weeks out of WrestleMania, 1.7 million viewers. That's a all-time low for a pre-WrestleMania show, and I put so much of that down to the fact that people aren't buying in with passion into wins and losses in WWE.
I 100% agree, man. Next we get a really nice segment, which was the dressing room segment with the Inner Circle invading the Pinnacle sort of meeting, where they're choosing a stylist. Dude, this was great. This was a really nicely done segment. I don't think it was overdone. A backstage brawl that ended up with several nice little spots of Sammy Guevara and Sean Spears, as well as the bath of ice and the massage chair. We've never seen a massage chair break in wrestling, Dan.
No, that was nice. Again, there was logic as to things being where they were. The only thing that I wasn't a fan on was the cuts between cameras. As they burst through one room into another, that the camera was there already. That's a very WWE thing, and I dislike that. And the fact that I won't be the only person that notices that neither. And I'd like to think that that's something that I hope that they won't do again, because because the one thing AEW do is they try to have that sporting emphasis, and by sporting, it's a loose sporting term, but they try to have the idea that what you are seeing isn't as pre-planned as WWE, who are putting on a television show and therefore have cameras ready here, there, and everywhere because, you know, they're seemingly okay with reminding you that you're watching a scripted television show.
Yeah. It felt a bit like watching an old boiler room brawl or something like that, where you're right, they will go through a door and the camera's just there.
Well, and the thing about a boiler room brawl, though, at least I could understand their cameras being ready because they knew they were going to be having a boiler room brawl. This was an impromptu attack. Those cameras shouldn't have been there.
No, yeah,
you know,
right.
like the cameras could have been there for the promo.
Yeah.
But having all those cameras ready to catch as one guy falls from one door through to another.
Yep. Too much.
You know,
too tidy.
Too tidy. Exactly.
Yeah. We have Don Collis. Don't you feel anything for the people that love you? He says to Matt Jackson. He broke Omega's heart, apparently. He says Omega chose AEW for the Young Bucks, and they just left Omega out in the ring on his own.
Yeah.
Okay. Setting up the thing with the Young Bucks and thinking, I don't necessarily know if I needed Moxley with the Young Bucks, you know.
Well, they did set this up. Go back a couple of weeks when the show after the pay-per-view. And, you know, Moxley said in the promo, you know, the Young Bucks, you know, I don't like owing people things, but I guess I do owe you because you came to my rescue at a previous episode of Dynamite. So, again, this is a long-term thing that they have, you know, put little... I think one thing that AEW could do with is a few more recaps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on some of these on some of these things, whether it be at the start of the show or what, or I don't know when, because maybe that would be a bit too much telegraphing as to what you're going to see tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, when something hasn't happened for several weeks, you know, maybe if it's still relevant, you know, if it's not a big sudden reveal, you know, maybe you do need to do a couple more of those recaps to remind people.
Yeah.
The last few times that we've seen, you know, Moxley, these are the things that have happened. Maybe. I'm not saying that's a definite, but...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know if we needed the Moxley promo tonight prior to the match, actually. I don't know if that added anything to the show. Do you know what I mean?
I get you, and I mean, you know, you're also trying to balance out the whole keeping people's attention, wanting them to watch. You know, so I'm sure there's elements of that were factored into reasons behind doing things and trying to keep people more...
engaged.
Up first. Yeah, keep people engaged, stick with it.
I think that could have just been told in the match, and I think he does a good job of telling that story in the match.
Could have been.
Yeah, but hey-ho. Maybe they didn't know, because it was a pre-filmed promo as well, so maybe they were just doing it just in case. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next match, we have Rey Fenix, Penta, El Zero, Laredo Kid versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers.
Wow. What an action-packed match that was. Absolutely superb.
Mad.
I loved it. And it was a prime example of the kind of action that you will get when it comes to trios. Hey, I've said it before, trios action I'm a massive fan of. You know, like I got into... Tag team wrestling is my favorite type of wrestling. Mm-hmm. And when I was, you know, one of the big promotions, my favorite promotion from the mid-90s was actually a promotion called Michinoku Pro Wrestling. And the thing that got me into Michinoku Pro Wrestling was actually the trios matches that they did. And they were like this, fast-paced, high-action, tremendous quality professional wrestling matches. And you can go and check out a number of those matches. Specifically, you're kind of looking around like 95, 96, 97. And you'll see some incredible action-packed matches. And I love the fact that, you know, we're seeing this again. I later kind of like rekindled the closest that we then got. I've always been into Japanese wrestling, so like the Real World Tag League, as well as All Japan Pro Wrestling, another of my absolute favorites. 2-on-2 tags, standard tags instead of trios. But in Japan, you would regularly get trios matches. You know, the singles matches were rarer than the tag matches because the style of Japan was so much more hard hitting that you tend to see more tag matches, you know, because of, you know, to save the impact, spread the impact around on multiple people's body instead of everyone, you know, killing themselves in singles matches. But it also meant people were able to go a little bit more.
And it's also about, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Japan, so you maybe be able to answer this a lot better. But Japan do a lot of like three-way matches or stuff like that.
Not three-way, no. You don't really see triple threat matches.
Trios or tag team matches
in
a build-up.
Absolutely.
And your main event, your stipulation, ends up becoming that singles match at the end.
Eventually, but the thing is, it's like title matches mean a little bit more. Title matches are built up a little bit more, and you'll see more tag matches. But WWE, really, because like the Western world is, in terms of the wrestling that they enjoy and the stories that they're used to, and that familiarity has bred there to be, dare I say, non-acceptance of tag team matches having serious implications or being of important, instead just a byproduct on the way to get into a bigger singles match, when actually in Japan that's not the case. Yes, the big singles match is a big deal, but the tag matches were also big deals as well, because again the in-ring was of a high quality, and the importance of wins and losses was never diminished.
It actually mattered.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, in this match, man, Magic Killer, Penta breaks it up, leaping dropkick on Doc, the Phoenix roundhouse kick, Canadian Destroyer on Omega, Carl with Spinebuster on Phoenix, Kid with a big splash to break up the pin, Kid with a slingshot, eats a powerbomb, V-trigger, cover,
Lots of action.
It was mental, wasn't it?
It was absolutely mental.
Yeah. To the point where some people, I think Duncan was struggling to was it Duncan? He said in chat he was struggling to keep up with everything, and not that he was wrong. I can understand exactly why. It was, if you didn't know what you was watching or who you was watching, especially with three guys with lucha masks on, I imagine it could have been quite difficult to keep up with it, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can understand a number of people potentially getting Phoenix and Laredo Kid mixed up.
Yeah.
I think we actually saw that in the chat.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero and the Bunny with the Matt Hardy Empire versus Conti with the Dark Order and Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this match. Tons of action. I felt that the match length was perfect. I think the right person went over as well. Really enjoyed this match. We had teams brawling before the bell. Shida looked good. Nyla Rose looked good. Just absolutely everyone looked good in this match.
They really did, yeah. And the Bunny getting the win is big, man. On
Dynamite. Yeah, and she got the win over Conti. And of course, last time we saw Conti, she was pinning Nyla Rose. And yes, there was a little bit of heel action in there because she used that kendo stick behind the referee's back. But that's okay, because AEW isn't full of things like that. So that when they do things like that, actually has a little bit of extra meaning, but it doesn't feel like the win doesn't mean anything like it normally does if you was to watch this on Monday Night Raw.
And she really swung that kendo stick, Dan.
Oh, yeah. She put her into it.
She really swung that kendo stick.
Yep.
Really enjoyed the match, man. Thoroughly entertaining. And the last match, there wasn't a bad match on this card, was there?
There was no bad match on this card whatsoever. Top to toe, corker of an AEW Dynamite episode.
Miro, Kip Sabian, and Penelope Ford versus Chuck and Orange Cassidy. Arcade Anarchy.
Arcade Anarchy. And it was.
Crap, did it sound like the most uninteresting thing to watch on this show? And it was great.
It doesn't sound great, but like when you realize who the talent are in the match, there's no way that match was never going to not deliver.
No. It's a story that I think we've all felt has been dragging on a little bit. Well, it has, hasn't it? I mean, this has been since Miro sort of come in. They've done several sections. They've done segments that haven't worked. They've done segments that have worked great. Tonight, what a feel-good ending to Dynamite, Dan.
Yeah, really, really was. Like, really enjoyed the show. Lots of things progressed and moved forward. Tons of action. Just overall, 2 thumbs up from me on tonight's AEW Dynamite show.
Yeah, we get the... One thing I will say about the match, I wish they'd done something a little bit more extreme to get Kip out of the match. The whack-a-mole segment was a little bit... Because he was out in the match most of the match.
Yes, you're right, and I don't disagree neither. Unless we missed something, that did feel a bit.
They had enough gimmicks around to be able to do something. But we also got the return of Chris Statlander in this match.
And she looked great. The timing of the table bump with the inverted key crusher looked superb.
onto the hockey table.
Yep.
Air hockey table. Great, fun use of the gimmick there.
Yep.
Sue coming back with Trent's return.
Yeah, which you called.
Which, dude, it's like you said in the stream, it's using the mid-carders in a way of making a great main event. And what a feel-good ending that was, with the Pixies playing, all of them with the hug in the center of the ring.
Yep.
Lego. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Tons of fun.
Loads of fun. Cool, rock and roll. Right, 5 minutes left. We'll go through a few of your comments and then we're going to leave for the evening. Agreed. Great show, great stream, guys. Thank you, Joey. Thank you so much, my dude. Miro beating up cards. Yes. Lol, damn you, Jack. Doom and gloom. Arnie has so many good one-liners. I couldn't pick one. Oh, there's been a load of Arnie one-liners in chat, Dan. I'm sure you appreciate that.
There have been a bunch from like Batman and Robin as well, then, because there's just a whole bunch. Arnie's, when it comes to one-liners,
he's the man. He's the man.
Yeah. And the funny thing, and another thing about Arnie is, when it comes to Arnie, he's actually in two of the greatest, arguably the greatest films of all time, in Predator and Terminator 2. And literally, like, film experts have said, it's not just me as a hardcore, Predator fan. It's, film experts have looked at those and said, actually, these are two of the very, very best. So,
Brain Dead and the original Dawn of the Dead. Personal choice, of course.
Never seen either. Never seen either.
You've never seen Brain Dead?
No, never heard of it.
Peter Jackson, director of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I mean, I know the name Peter Jackson, but
so he directed a movie. It's before Lord of the Rings, and it's
which I've also never seen. Lord of the Rings.
I mean, that's dope. That's long.
I got no objection to long films. I watched the Snyder Cut last week.
How was that?
There was just something about Lord of the Rings that didn't interest me, and then I saw Clerks 2, and that just seemed to kind of give across how I felt about the movie going into it as well. So I never watched it. My wife has the three Lord of the Rings movies, and she's been watching them with my son recently, actually. So my son's getting into them, but yeah, it just doesn't do it for me.
There you go, one ring to rule them all, Dan. They really need a trios belt at this point to give more talent a spotlight. Yeah, I think we can see the trio belt just.
Hey, they're teasing us with it. Yeah,
it's 100%.
And also, Tony Khan has said that there will be a trios title. He said it last year, and he said that it was going to come in 2021.
There we go. It looks like they're building to it right now. And then, Tony Khan has said a lot of things that he's absolutely delivered on. At the press conference for Revolution, he was saying, "Watch out, the women's main event will be around the corner." And what a main event!
And it was. Just seeing that Grant McGloin said, "Jingle All the Way is the cause of global warming because too many people watch it and it warms their hearts." The thing, you couldn't do Jingle All the Way now, would you? It's like, who goes to the shops to buy those toys? Just Amazon. It's just Amazon, eBay. It's like, they haven't got it in the store. Have you tried eBay? Have you tried Amazon? Have you tried Toys R Us? It still exists online, okay? It's too many all these websites.
It just makes life too easy, Dan.
Right.
So it's been great tonight. Thank you, Dan. Your luggage agreed on the recaps, Dan. What have you been feeding this thing? Blondes? Oh, this is more Annie bloody quotes. Jeremy's joined us. Hey up, Jeremy. Hope you're doing well, my dude. I'm bragging until next year about his Royal Rumble win, but he did really well in that Royal Rumble predictions, I'll be honest. Jeremy's better than Goldberg's Undisputed Streak. Nice. Jingle All the Way, yes. When he got the boy, his action figure, the whole world smiled at once.
True story. Didn't like Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Yeah, I didn't, but I've never really been into family films. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really like family films or things that were directed as children because I found them really condescending.
What about Kindergarten Cop?
I was a 15 when it came out. I remember watching it, thought it was fine. Felt it was. I haven't watched it as an adult, so when I saw it, it was when it was new, which would have been around 1991. But it was like fine. I felt that people made it out to be a lot funnier than what it was.
Stop or my mum will shoot.
So you know the story behind the reason why Sylvester Stallone did that movie?
I mean, I think I do. Is it something to do because he did Kindergarten Cop?
Arnie put out the word that he was wanting to do Stop or My Mum Will Shoot. And this was at the time when Arnie and Sly were proper feuding. Like, it got really bad between them because, you know, Sly was in love with Bridget Nielsen. So Arnie then started going after Bridget. It got really bad between those two. Like, so there was, but yeah, so he put the word out that he was wanting to do Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, which made Sly be like, I will do anything to do that film. And he took like a massive pay cut to do that film as well.
Really?
Yeah. He was, and of course, it wasn't actually a very good film. And Arnie knew that. The whole thing was a setup. Like,
it was a setup.
Yeah. Like,
Brilliant.
Which Arnie was known for doing. Arnie, if you know any of the stories from being on set of Predator, Arnie was known for setting up. He set up Jesse Ventura.
How?
So basically, he, I'll tell you in a secret stream. I won't tell you on this part. We'll get back onto the AEW stuff.
Well, speaking of secret streams, that is it for the show this evening. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Jeremy says, yeah, but Dan doesn't like smiling, so we shouldn't be surprised. Give us a smile, Dan.
I'm smiling now.
He's got a smile. He's happy to see you, Jeremy. Flavor Flav was the real reason we got Bridget Nelson. Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav
was the real winner. Oh, he got Bridget Nelson. Did he?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that he got Bridget Nelson at all.
There you go. With lots of love heart emojis. Governor, says Grant. Right, we're off. Dudes.
Bridget Nelson, star of Beverly Hills Cop 2. Now, there's a great action comedy of the 80s. Watched it this. Beverly Hills Cop 2. I've been on a Beverly Hills Cop run this week. And my wife hadn't actually seen it.
Really?
And the poor cow, she got stuck with Beverly Hills Cop 3 last night. And I thought she'd seen it. I was surprised. And there she is watching Beverly, which isn't a very good film at all. Right. Not even in the slightest.
Really?
But it was just one of those...
Is that the one with when you go into the earthquake ride and it's all like...
Yeah.
And it's all the aliens attack and all that.
Yeah. It's not a very good film at all. No, it's just that I wanted something crap on to fall asleep to. You know? And like, that's not going to be a film that I try to stay awake for.
You just put Raw on, dude. Seriously.
Oh, fuck off. There are emos that do safer self-harming than watching Raw.
No. Rock and roll. Dudes, we're off. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe to the channel. If you want to be 667, the neighbor of the beast, just subscribe to the channel. Dudes, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, we'll all count down from 5 and then we'll all say, oh yeah. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, sir.
Oh yeah!
God, I just listened to this whole podcast. It was terrible. I feel like my ears are gonna bleed.
What'd you say? This is Darby Allen, and you're listening to Gimme a Oh Yeah podcast.
So, Predator, Jesse Ventura.
So yeah, Arnie, the Predator movie, the story behind that, directed by John McTiernan, by the way, same director for the first Die Hard and also Die Hard with a Vengeance. Quite probably the reason why those are the two best Die Hards. It's best to pretend the rest don't exist, really. But the cast for Predator was a very, dare I say, toxic masculine cast.
Right.
In fact, the actor who played Billy, whose name I've forgotten off the top of my head, they actually had to have security on site to protect the rest of the cast from him.
Really?
And they were all, you're talking like Carl Weathers in Predator, you're talking Arnie, you're talking Bill Duke, who's kind of like the ringer because he's a big guy, but he's actually a really good actor. But you're also talking Jesse Ventura, you know, and so the idea was that everyone was trying to be like out, you know, be stronger than the other one, have bigger arms than the other one, work out hard. But there was like, the idea was that they all needed to work out to keep the shape that they were in, but none of them wanted to be seen to working out because the idea was that you don't need to work out, you're just naturally that big. And so it was that kind of mentality that was going on within the filming of Predator.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Arnie did was he set up Jesse Ventura. So Jesse Ventura is doing this interview where he says how he spoke to the wardrobe lady after she'd just fitted Arnie for his outfit in Predator. And he asked her what size Arnie's arms were. And she said a number. And Jesse's like, you know, that made me feel really good because that means my arms are 2 inches bigger than the world's, you know, than the winner of Mr. Olympia.
Yeah,
and then so what Arnie then does is they end up in the, I don't know if it was the gym, they end up on set and Jesse's ribbing Arnie about it and saying, yeah, you know, like let's have a competition to see who arms are bigger. Because Jesse thinks his arms are bigger because that's what the wardrobe lady says. So they have the competition, and actually it's Arnie's arms are bigger than Jesse's. And Arnie had set the whole thing up. Arnie had got the wardrobe lady to deliberately do that and tell him that number so that he would then try to look the big man and challenge him in front of everyone to who's got the biggest guns contest.
Wow.
And Arnie would win.
And that was, man.
That is the thing was caught on, part of that was actually caught on tape as well.
Really?
Yeah, like Arnie bragging about it was all caught on not Arnie, Jesse Ventura bragging about it was all caught, and then Arnie saying what the plan was the whole time. And yeah, it was one of the, and that tells you the idea of what being on set, because they were legitimately in the jungle as well, like the temperatures that they were filming in. You know, like one of the most famous stories is of course Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally cast as the Predator.
Yeah.
And of course got sacked on site, which is good because that meant that they had to change the design of the Predator, because originally it was this horrible orange like lizard monster thing. It was terrible.
Right.
And then they did a whole redesign of the Predator. I'm trying to remember whose idea it was. It was someone very famous just happened to be on a flight with the designer and ended up just sitting next to them and say, I've always wanted to see a villain with mandibles. And so that's how the Predator was designed from that point onwards. I'm trying to remember who it was. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it's just one of those freak accidents where they ended up sat next to them.
Really?
But
mad.
Yeah, like I strongly recommend going on YouTube if you're, you know, fancy a laugh at a load of, you know, steroid up, muscle bound, toxic masculine individuals all trying to one up one another, and the stories of what was like behind the scenes on Predator.
Isn't that what we do every night with wrestling?
There's not quite the steroids that there was back in the 80s.
We've got a load of people that joined us. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you all. Jeremy just made a comment about how we don't get as many likes as we do for Raw, so prove that AEW is better than Raw and hit that like button. For me,
that's not how proving something is better works.
Of course it is. It's the amount of likes you get, Dan, I believe. I've been told. George has joined us. Hello, George. Lovely to see you. Tonight's Dynamite was amazing. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, really and George, like, well played to you and Mia and everyone. Like from the Eve streams. You guys make it so warm for people to go into that stream, just as sort of a person going into it, and always greet people, and that's really awesome. And I know Dan,
agreed.
Dan appreciates it. You make watching Eve feel like a really good.
It's a really good little community that's in there, you know, and you get some dickheads turn up because, of course, you do. It's a live stream, and there's new people finding all the time. It's but they're never, you know, their voices are never, you know, louder than the good people in the community, and I've usually banned those other people pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's just sorry, Dan, to say, but every time
it's so true. I'm glad you did.
Much, like warmth from people, and that's what you enjoy about our community. I know that, and we've talked about that in the past, and it's sort of that engagement that's really fun for us, you know. Tonight's Dynamite was amazing. Hi Grant, George, glad you made it. Nice, Jeremy, good to see you too, man. Arnold and the party pooper line in Kindergarten Cop is legendary, says Jeff. Hello,
Jeremy
Mia.
Stanley is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Absolutely.
Of course it is. Christmas trees.
And there's a cinema over here in the UK called the Prince Charles Cinema. It's in Leicester Square in London.
Yeah.
And it's one of those cinemas that, shows classic films, and they'll get like the old 30mm and 70mm copies, so you can watch it as it was initially, released and intended, which is super cool. And it's an old school cinema as well. It's one of the last standing old school cinemas. Wonderful, wonderful place. And every year at Christmas, they play Die Hard every single day pretty much throughout December, and it is pretty much sold out. And it's sold out with very good reason. Classic, original Die Hard, absolute classic. And as I mentioned, same director, John McTiernan, as the first Predator movie.
Oh, there we go. And also, lest we forget, Gremlins is a Christmas movie. I think someone else mentioned that in chat.
Yeah, Gremlins is, I believe, a Christmas. Do you know what? It's been so many years since I've seen Gremlins, I don't actually remember it. So yeah, no, I don't remember. The main thing I remember is that Hogan is in Gremlins 2.
He is, yeah, in the Warner Brother. Does he attack Bugs Bunny or something like that?
I have no. I haven't seen. I saw Gremlins 2. Last time I saw that would have been in the 90s.
Oh man, I love that.
So I haven't seen Gremlins since. Someone in the chat could probably let us know.
That was my Labyrinth. Boom.
Labyrinth, the David Bowie movie.
Yeah, I'm not
Great
a fan.
movie.
I'm a massive Bowie fan. Massive. Station to Station, favorite album, like really big David Bowie fan. Labyrinth.
So there's an Eve show called Babes with the Power.
The Babes with the Power, yeah.
Yeah, no, named after. And there was an independent show that I worked, and I came out singing that song as my entrance, and I Bowied myself up. I was complete, makeup and glitter around the eyes, and just I came out in a bright orange suit singing that track, and I didn't get the response that I was expecting.
What did you get?
Cheered.
Wait.
I was trying to get booed. I was
Dude,
bad singing it, but it was
booed.
No, it was I got cheered for it, and it feels ridiculous, some of the things that was actually happening but it was like Tom Jones was back home in Wales. It was crazy. I was like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, I didn't do that again. So this is heel work that's not working.
Yeah, the Gimme didn't work. H.R. Geiger, yes, H.R. Geiger, the artist who directed all of Alien. Did he do Predator as well then, Geiger?
No, that was John McTiernan that did Predator.
Okay. And
all except for there's one action sequence that McTiernan got the second unit director to film, and if you watch it, you can tell that it's not McTiernan directing it, because it just feels like an episode of the A-Team more than it does feel like Predator. It goes a bit too action-packed with explosions, whereas McTiernan was very good at balancing everything out and making things feel a bit more real, and making you understand the pacing and the whereabouts of all the characters at the time. He was very good at like one camera shots following people around, so you knew where this character was and that character was. And you disappeared off screen again, by the way.
I know, I'm back. Don't worry.
Right, okay.
It's because I ain't deleted my memory card. Dan, you need to share a picture of you as David.
I wasn't dressed as David, to be clear. I was just more over the top, with the look. And like I say, I was made up on, with some makeup basically and some glitter around the eyes. And
do you know when he did them in the Labyrinth, where he did the whole globe thing, where he was moving the globes around his hand, and it was wonderful?
Yeah.
That was a guy behind him.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a guy cuddling him.
No, I did. I never knew that. I knew that the whole thing was the director's plan behind it was to have the intention as being a sexual awakening movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there was so much focus on Bowie's genitalia, and the reason why he wore such tight trousers in it, because the director wanted it to be a sexual awakening movie. Take from that what you will.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a fan of Labyrinth. I prefer Neverending Story, Dan.
Haven't watched Neverending Story probably since the late 80s, very early 90s.
Atreyu.
But what is it? The third one. I watched the third one when it came out new on VHS.
Yeah, I think.
And that would have been the last time I actually saw it.
There we go. Dude, it's been
Yep.
wonderful reminiscing with you. We're going to call it there because I don't want to keep Dan up too late. Bowie's great, massive fan of him as well. And cool, I'll share some Bowie on the Discord. That'll be fun. Hey, fellas. Oh, lovely to see you, Jared. Hope you're doing well, mate. 9 out of 10 for AEW. Mate, it was great. It was a good fun from start to finish. Duncan, I knew someone who worked in the studios that made Labyrinth. Talks about using the slide a lot when they were not filming. Can't remember all part of the film. Oh, right, cool, interesting. There you go. My friends, they're streaming right now. If you have a look at the pinned
Is that
message,
Wrestle Story?
it's my friends at the Wrestle Story, yes, and Dan's friends as well. And
Yes,
all of
they
our
are.
friends. For those of you that haven't seen the Wrestle Story before, they are a father.
Oh, Grant, why would you put that track in my head, man?
Say my name, say
Say
my
my
name.
name.
When no one is around
There you go. I thought for a moment there that you didn't know it.
Too young, Dan.
Sue Young?
Yeah. Hang on, who sang that?
Um,
Sugar
that's-
Babes.
No, that's Destiny's Child, isn't it? Is it not? That's
How
Destiny's-
have we gone from that to bloody David Bowie?
I don't know how Grant McGloin got, but he wrote "Say My Name, Say My Name," and unless that's in a line from a track on Labyrinth. But the problem is, it's like when someone says "question," you just then go, "Tell me what you think about." Do you know what I mean? Like that's what comes to your mind.
No.
Yes,
No,
it is. Well,
it's
from
not
now on,
me.
it will be. Anytime
it's
someone
not.
goes "question,"
I refuse to let it happen, Dan.
well,
actually.
it's going to happen now. It's done. I've put that in your head. That seed is implanted. It's taking growth right now.
Before we go, Dan,
Yes.
question.
Tell me what you think about me.
Hello, welcome, and give me a hell yeah. Give me a whole yeah. Give me a whole yeah. From the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara. Cheers to everyone watching in Yorkshire and beyond. Hope you guys have a great day from the Spanish god. Shout out to Dom, shout out to Anthony. You guys are smart because you're fans of me. And anyways, have a great day.